a lot of my own. Don't nobody watch a stream that's in the what you call it game here, whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're
Meister
getting
Drow?
Yeah, we're live.
just halfway through it.
I think those are windows, so I gotta. So like, I'm not ready at all right now. It's uh oh.
Do we have the do we have the faces, or are we on the rolling die
Do we have wahoo? Wahoo? What?
on the stream? You said we're live. Do we have faces on the stream, or
Yeah, we
we
have
have
faces. Yeah,
the
we
the
have.
rolling die that
You
says
have. If you have a face in real life, you have a face on the stream. That's how.
as far as you
No,
know,
the
I have
rolling
a
die.
face.
The rolling die. It's not what we have. We are past the
The way to
rolling
phrase
die
it.
point.
Well, there are other things we don't have either. You could make a list of things we don't have.
That's true.
We don't have.
I
We
thought.
don't have piles of gold.
I wish I could chop that in half.
Yeah, unfortunately for Rich, for me to upgrade my video card on my computer,
Yep.
I'm looking at quite a bit of money because I need to get a liquid cooled one.
Oh,
Because
Oh.
my computer's all liquid cooled.
Mhm.
Or I could try finding a way
I
to cap
see.
off the liquid lines that cool off my current video card, but I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Fencer. Oh, all right.
The thought of liquid leaking in my computer is not very tempting.
Except for that one time after
Yeah.
that party in the '90s. Anyway, what? Did I say that out loud?
is it gonna be one of those days, Brian?
It's always one of those days. It's just not. It's just not always
I like how.
one of those days when we're
ahead.
streaming. That's what I was gonna say. It's always one of those days for me though.
Those are the worst days.
You go back to the not back to the '90s because that's the last thing I can remember.
That,
After that, it's
there you
just
go.
a blur.
After early
Is
'90s.
something wrong with your hand, Rich?
Oh shit.
I'm just getting my gloves on.
Oh, I see now. I just saw you wrapping something.
Well,
in
you
it.
gotta be asshole. Something wrong with
Okay,
your
so
face. Oh. Anyway, all right.
That's right.
If you're gonna be
Take
live,
it. Take it.
you might. If you're gonna be live action, we might as well get the drama in there. Go ahead.
Right, that's the drama portion of our show. Okay. So when last we left you guys, you guys were getting ready to go to Adrik's Folly, right? Right.
We're ready to do some interrogation of someone that we got into.
Yeah, yeah. we have
surrender.
Some, I just cut somebody's head off.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
sorry.
that doesn't narrow it
Yeah,
down.
cut Yappo's head off. And then we have his sister Saral over there, who is just our dear Bard just convinced her not to kill herself. She's so
Right.
despondent over the death of her brother.
He doesn't know you cut his head off yet, I don't think.
That was the
No,
point. We
but you
didn't.
Oh, I
bet
think
Jack
she.
he's gonna
I think
walk
she.
over with the
I
head in
think.
his hand,
I
right?
think she knows.
They have this psychic bond. Huh?
She just knows
She knows
that.
he's dead,
She
but-
just knows that it's gonna be harder for her to bring him back as a ghoul until he's like wholly put back together. She knows that Humpty Dumpty doesn't go back together easy.
See some of the intricacies of animating the dead. We now know. You need
I
to
am
have the head back on it.
Totally gonna desecrate this body.
Well, she could animate it. I suppose it would just be headless. So.
Over here, no, over here, stupid. Oh wait, you can't hear me.
The old thing with the body kicking the head, reaching down to put it on.
Well, and
So
considering
you're gonna desecrate it?
considering it would
Why?
Yeah.
considering it would be a like disadvantage for everything, pretty much. Like everything sight related anyway.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can't hear,
that's
you
right.
can't see, you can't speak.
He can't see or smell when his head's in a bag.
Yep, he can't smell.
He can smell your laundry, your old laundry, your
But
dirty laundry.
decides-
He's resistant to spells that affect where you have to see them or have to hear them.
That's
you know,
true,
anything
yeah.
like that. Resistant. immune to those.
Yeah, and if he gets a sleep spell cast on him, he's fine. His body's still walking around. He's just maybe
Yeah,
his
that's
head
right.
his head might go to sleep, but it's in a bag, so it don't
Does
matter.
this mean then that if she brings it back as a ghoul, I've now got a head that can talk and curse and do things?
Maybe.
That would be kind of funny.
Do you want to have that? Or would you, or would you just give it away like you do all
It's the Puffin Man healing
the
potion
heads
for the
you've had
road.
before?
Thank you for the healing potion.
Oh, thank you, James.
Merci beaucoup.
All right, so I'm
Did you
actually
wanna-
working on the dynamic link. So I downloaded a thing for through Steam called Dungeon Alchemist. It's a map making software tool. It's really cool.
Mm.
The only thing is they have a thing where it's supposed to be able to export export maps into Roll20 with the dynamic lighting and all that stuff already in place.
Mm.
And
But-
it doesn't quite work the way that it said it did. So right now I am busy doing the dynamic lighting.
Everything is always beta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's ready to go. We'll
And
want you to test it.
just about the time it works near perfect is when they bring out the next edition in beta.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. But we had to do so many changes to fix beta. Well, might as well.
We decided
The
that
whole-
all the
keep
improvements
the
would be in this
expectations
next
low.
version. All the
We
improvements.
fixed all the last ones, but we've given you a whole bunch of fresh ones to
Yeah.
complain about.
And all the improvements that we made to the previous software will be visible in the new software. However, you'll have a whole new set of problems to encounter. Yay! So this is the beta version of Action Surge, people.
Yeah.
beta 2.0. God. All
Any
right.
glitches are intentional. The glitches are intentional.
Do not adjust your screen. We control the volume. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't bother controlling because it's not going to make any difference.
We're gonna make a couch potato out of you. That's what we're going to do.
So, while Brian's getting stuff ready, can it just do we want to have what Slag would like to suggest is
You
that
guys could question
somebody
the lady.
could like interrogate the lady, and I can cast detect thoughts. We kind of figure she's probably not going to cough up any good information, but she might be thinking what if she's not fully aware that we're trying to read her thoughts, we might pick up something in the top or sub level while we're getting her to try to not think about it or talk about it. Does does someone want to do that?
know if you want him to come over and intimidate her. He's good at being scary, but asking questions, it'd be more like, I'm going to choke you until you tell me what I want you to tell me. So,
But she's a drow, she'll like that.
well, remember that one drow at the beginning who's like, hey, baby. He's like, I'm cutting your head off.
So, yeah, I mean, whoever would want to, whoever would feels like their interrogation skills are up to the task. We're trying to find out. Obviously, we try to find out stuff about Adrik's Folly and trying to find out what the stuff is behind him. She may not know everything and all that. So, but I would like to. If you start talking and then you kind of distract her, I can hopefully cast detect thoughts without being too obvious and at least get her surface thoughts.
Yeah, usually that is either you or Silverhorn's doing that.
Proficient in persuasion,
You want to try it, Farkas?
but do you trust a drug-addled cat?
As you, I
As
assume you
much
guys.
as anybody in this group, yeah.
I assume you guys are discussing this off where she's kind of not in earshot, so to speak.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
being particularly careful about anything else?
I want to make sure my zipper's up. I want to make sure of that. That's important.
Okay. Other than
Um,
that,
there may be traps. I am going
no. I think
to.
I think Thyron mostly found all the traps.
I'm gonna go over here where I'm just. Wah!
I ran out of that ball of darkness and just
I like all I could picture is like that last trap when Thyron gets picked up by. I like a picture as him being like, "Damn it!
Well, I want to
I
make
can't believe I fell for another one."
is she gagged at all or no?
Yes, we'll have to ungag her. We bound her and gagged her and try because she's a spell slinger. So
Yeah, you want to have a spellcaster being able to.
But
right.
I mean, other than that, like like she's already bound and she's already gagged and she's under watch by Gold Sneezer and Thyron and what's his name or whatever,
Gregor probably.
Gregor, yeah. And so like, other than that, are you taking any precautions when you're discussing what like how to interrogate her and that kind of thing? What are you taking any precautions other than that? Like, not necessarily even with her, just like with how you're speaking about her or whatever.
Well,
Try
I
to
would be
keep it low.
I would be speaking in my
I
softest
am
voice.
not technically there. I am.
I'm not technically there.
Um,
I'm not technically there either. I'm technically right here.
no, I am.
Practicing decapitation.
all,
I am.
all I know is
65
I'm
feet
all
away
here,
right
but I'm not
now.
all there.
Oh,
No, sorry. Yeah, I'm the 65, 70 feet away. So Farkas and I are over on the other side of the path. So
Okay, so when you're
we're really
discussing
technically
it,
not privy to.
I will go on over since it was my idea, and Farkas is the other person we talked about doing it, and UA would be another logical. Those would be two of the
okay,
logical people to do the
this is
investigation
how you guys are
or
set up
interrogation.
here. Hold on, let me
I was gonna. I will amble on over, and in a soft voice, saying,
Where's
"Another
UA?
hand."
I don't see
Okay.
UA.
Hmm. I'm gonna do a perception check
UA
if I may. Maybe
UA,
just have
where
a
are
light
you?
check to see. I'm
UA.
over by Farkas.
I don't see you. Is what I said.
Are you in the shadow?
Are you under Farkas?
No,
Are
I'm
you
looking
under a
under
dead
Callan
body?
now.
Oh, you're under Callan.
oh,
Okay.
I see
There you
myself.
go. Okay.
No, yeah.
Sorry.
Callan was on top of me.
Okay.
Sorry,
Whoa.
didn't.
I'm going to, as
Yeah.
I'm cutting this guy's head off, going to check his body.
Check his vitals.
I mean, trinkets maybe, but like maybe he's got some weird tattoos or some sort of magically something's going on.
Cool.
Whoa. Whoops. Shiznit. Dang, I hate it when that happens.
I know we got all the poison and.
Yeah, I'm looking at this from more of like an arcane standpoint. Like this guy could have
Some sort
you
of
know,
that.
some sort of something that's
Put a spell
being that
on
he
you.
was in some sort of a position of power and he was a magic user. Knowing that what I might do in this situation.
Where'd they go? Oh my goodness. I hate this crap when it does this.
And I could possibly try to intimidate her or persuade her.
Yeah, out of character. UA can very easily intimidate her. He's got some good intimidation stuff that what is he? I don't think I've ever used my
Not proficient in intimidation, but persuasion I am.
Well, I guess what I'm thinking is, they might whether we persuade her to actually tell any information or not. She may not do it. Persuade her or intimidate her. I just want to get her brain thinking about that stuff. Yeah,
Doesn't hurt.
She may not cough it up, but she might think about it.
She might accidentally spill the beans.
Yeah, especially if we can do it so that she doesn't
You might
suspect that.
begrudgingly give it up.
What?
Oh my. Yeah, if I use necrotic shroud, I got a good chance of intimidating this girl.
Okay. What is that?
Should you wish to do that, just I'll put it in chat.
Which
Basically,
chat?
I go all Fallen Azamar on her.
This one?
Or roll 20.
Okay.
Roll 20.
There, for me.
Is there some sort of new VTT called D20 that I should be aware of that we should probably check out now?
Yeah,
There
keep
is.
calling it
There,
D20.
yeah, there it is, but you're not allowed to know about it. It's secret.
Uh, so yeah, I'm actually seriously considering Foundry. The only issue with Foundry is, from what I understand, there's
That?
like everybody has to have their own copy to some degree. And I know there's like a GM code type thing that you can do where it's like cheaper or free or something for your players or whatever, but it seems like kind of a big hassle to have everybody
Cheap as free.
download it to a client, you know? I don't know. Anyway, Necrotic Shroud. Starting at 3rd level, you can use your action to unleash a divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to turn into pools of darkness, and 2 skeletal, ghostly, flightless wings sprout from your back. The instant you transform, other creatures within 10 feet of you that can see you must succeed on a charisma saving throw. DC 8, whatever your DC is. DC 16, yeah.
Standard thing. Plus your proficiency bonus. Plus
Yeah,
bonus.
yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Or become frightened until the end of your next turn. Your transformation lasts for 1 minute, or until you end it as a bonus action. During it, once on each of your turns, you can deal a little extra necrotic damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or spell. The extra necrotic damage equals your level. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Oh, okay. So you're do that to be intimidating? Is that what you're thinking? Extra intimidation.
Yeah.
.com.
Extra,
And
basically.
Frightener.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it would just be a +8 to my roll. This one, she gets a save, so.
Alright.
Just depends. It's just an option for if the party wants some scary shit. Also, too, alright.
So she has to make
Progress is being persuasive.
So you're gonna do the necrotic shroud thing or no? Yes, no, maybe.
No, not at this point in time. I was just putting
okay.
it there for party to view.
Farkas is being persuasive.
Do something.
What are you being persuasive to? To Slag or?
I was
I'm
trying
persuaded. Boy, you're.
Seeing to see what it actually would
Oh, okay.
do.
This test run. Hey, look, you didn't roll twice.
Well, I did. Rolled a
No, you rolled an advantage. That's different than your mouse hitting
Yeah,
twice
you did
every
roll
time.
twice. Yeah.
Usually that would have been roll advantage twice if it with your mouse.
Yep. Based on past history.
Yeah, based on past rolls and such.
It was kind of fun. We would see just like this cascade of dice. Just since this is what we're going to be trying, why don't we go ahead and put it up here?
the ability thing into the chat window.
Do what?
Like how he put up detect thoughts
Yeah.
into the chat window. How do you get that over there?
Okay, so you go to an ability or a spell, and next to that ability or a spell, a little word balloon, like a chat bubble, will like pop up next to it when you hover over it, and when you hover over that and you click on that word balloon / chat bubble, it'll pop up in the.
So it doesn't do that for skills. It just does it for abilities.
Which, yeah, no, not well. It depends on which skills. But if you're talking about proficiencies, then no.
Yeah, I was looking at persuasion. See what that might.
If you're talking about those skills, then no. But if you're talking about like your class abilities and your race abilities and stuff like that, then it'll do it for that.
Pops up over those.
Yeah.
Right. If you see an eye, it means it'll just show it to you.
Yeah. Are you wanting to know? Gosh darn it. Are you wanting to know what a certain skill does or something?
I can look it up. I just was wondering if there was a way to do it through the roll 20.
Oh, okay. Well, You could look it up, but you could also ask me.
No,
Encyclopedia Brian.
Hey, that's that
you're
that
good.
that that almost hurts.
You can,
If
but you
it's
can only
like
use you can only use Brian so many times per session.
yeah,
That's the thing. You don't.
you can only use my information proficiency times a day. That's fine.
That's right.
Or proficiency times a
Then we can
session.
switch to the Holy Book of Brian.
And
And he says, "Yep, I could tell you, but you've already used up all of your ask
Book
Brian."
of
You know-
Sorry.
Brian.
when I was little, Encyclopedia Brown was one of my favorite
Oh yeah.
like books. But it's also funny because as punishment, when I got in trouble, my mom would make me write encyclopedias verbatim.
So,
She contributed to my nerddom. I blame her.
um, persuasion is more along the lines of like smoothing the wheels of communication to let you be able to do something, whereas intimidation is more of a way to get information from someone. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Well, okay, so
Yeah, or you could ask Brian.
it depends. Okay, so getting information from somebody is very subjective because intimidation is a way to get information from somebody by either like force or coercion. You know, like getting it out of them, out of like because they're afraid of what might happen next, or they're worried for whatever reason like that, right? Persuasion is a way to get information out of somebody freely. Like they just want to give it to you because why? Because you're persuasive.
Yeah, I used my persuasion to make her not kill herself last time. Brian let me, influence her to not kind of try to show her, you know, you've got more to live for.
There is
So
a
it's not going to. Yeah.
there is a third way to get information out of somebody in that list though, and that's deception. If they believe enough that something is going to happen, that could be the same as intimidation or persuasion, depending.
And then there's bribery.
It's like well, I guess she doesn't want to be cooperative. We should just leave her here for our pet dragon. He should be along any moment now. Like and then
Wow.
if that's a deceptive enough thing, then like then maybe she believes that there's a
Fortunately
dragon
for
coming.
us, I am much
Great
more-
job. Great job picking something that wouldn't work, Brian.
Yeah, well, with a nat 20, it might. Oh, okay, well, maybe with a 30, maybe that's an impossible type thing.
Not with this group. What? We have a pet dragon? What are you talking about?
Oh
We
yeah,
don't have a
that's
pet dragon.
that's true. I don't
No,
remember.
Right.
I don't remember a pet dragon.
I am much more deceptive than I am persuasive. So
Right,
I could deceive them.
right. So okay, so I'm going to let you guys also know that I will probably give. I may or may not give advantage to a roll depending on your scenario, so to speak.
Right.
So if you have a convincing lie, so to speak, that is like you're going to tell her that sounds to me like it would be somewhat convincing, I might allow you to get advantage on that deception roll. You know, if you're just using the base generic, well, I'm going to try to deceive her into believing that whatever, then it's just going to be a straight roll.
Yeah, role playing opportunities.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, what do you want to ask about? The Moon Shard, Adrik's Folly. Sorry, Eternal Night.
I just my thought is my thought is
I'm
that
gonna do something.
how it fits together. Possibly what's waiting for us in Adrik's Folly, and what the hell is up with this moon shard. Our most immediate type of things. But I would leave it up to you guys. Whatever you can do. I'm just going to try to pick a brain.
Like your mom is up.
Metaphorically.
Okay, well, before I start doing anything,
Yeah, we'll
Brian,
leave it-
I
we'll
did
leave it to
roll a
you.
perception roll.
I would say we'll leave it to UA to pick your brain.
Great, this is gonna be great.
Not metaphorically.
I made a perception roll. I don't know if you heard me. I know,
For
or you
what?
might have, I don't know. Um, for checking over the body of Yoffled, I was taking the head off. I'm looking for
Yep.
like not necessarily trinkets on his body because he's already been looted, but maybe if he's got any arcane symbols or something hidden that, in my mind, I'm thinking as a sorcerer, like you went down, you're Drow, something's going on. You got a funky ass priest sister over there. I think I need to check you more
Okay,
thoroughly.
hold on one second. You
I am not doing strange cavity searches, just so you know.
okay? Hold on one second.
I
You
thought you
did kind
said
of cut out for a second there, but hold on. I got caught pretty much everything you said. Still.
You got it? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not putting on any rubber gloves and diving anywhere.
And you made it weird.
If I don't make it weird at least every session, you know.
you did say funky ass. I mean, you did use that term.
Maybe he doesn't bait as often as he should. You roll him over and it's like, oh, dude.
Well, he's a ghoul. What do you expect? Ghoul.
Hopefully not yet.
Okay, so you
Well,
notice.
he
Okay,
was a ghoul.
you notice that something strange about Yofflid, like right off, obviously, because you know that he was a ghoul, and you can tell that he's a ghoul, but he looks extremely well preserved for a ghoul. Um, he also
Cool.
he also notice, or he also not notice, he also reveals like the idea like that because he was talking to you, well he was talking, and you guys have heard him talking, and you guys have you know seen her, you've seen her talk to him after he was dead, but that's not neither here nor there, but
Mm-hmm.
but she said, Yofflid, are you okay? You know, so you know that he's not like, most ghouls are not that intelligent, you know. Most ghouls are not that well
Right, he's
preserved.
intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I just had a
oh,
thing come across my whiskers. I'm thinking Yofflid is possessing this thing, and he's actually somewhere else.
okay, so for okay, because Farkas, you weren't actually there. They found you. They ran into you later on the road. But Slag and Yue, and does somebody have control of Silverhorn's character?
I do. I think you. Well, you do.
Okay.
Obviously, I can do
Uh,
a check for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So make I'm gonna say make history checks, or straight intelligence checks, whatever you think would be best for like memory. History or intelligence.
Those guys, not
Uh,
me.
Same.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think-
everybody that you didn't
I
meet
think
on the road.
performance would be best.
Yeah, so Scotty doesn't. Scotty, you met on the
Yeah.
road also, so or Apollo, you met on the road also, so so just Slag and UA and Silverhorns. Okay.
Oh,
That history check's really good, UA. All right.
I don't know.
What about you,
why,
Slag? You got one?
Silverhorns. He must be it.
Okay, Slag. There is something about this drow head that it's kind of like. Obviously, it's a little unsettling because it's a head, but it's also unsettling because it's
We're
like
getting used
you
to
have
that, though.
you have some sort of recognition for this thing. You immediately recognize this head, and you immediately recognize this
Is it the
drow.
vampire?
No, it's not the vampire. The vampire
Oh,
was
okay.
a human. But anyway, but actually, what's odd about that is when you saw this drow, it was disguised to look like a human.
So this is back in the town.
Where did I see him?
This
in?
is the drow that stole the moon shard.
Okay, back in the town. I remember.
Yeah, in the
You remember? You remember, right? You ain't.
in the cathedral.
Mhm.
In the cathedral, this is the drow that ran off with the moon shard and was disguised as a human. And you
Right.
guys
This head talk.
from the heat, you guys seen um you guys saw like part of the ear was melted off or whatever, like the makeup for the ear or whatever.
Uh huh. Yeah, yeah. You got to use the good
Um,
makeup. Don't use the cheap wax stuff.
Okay.
Maybelline sucks.
So,
Apparently, I don't know. Whatever.
question then: is this head quote dead or dead as in can it speak? Does it need to be reanimated? Like if I'm like, hey Yofflet, fuck you, is it gonna like say something back to me?
No, it is dead. I mean, it is dead, dead.
It's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I want to know.
Well, there's only one thing left to do then.
Put your pants back on, Apollo.
I was gonna say rifle through his pockets and see if he has any loose
Loose
change.
change, yeah.
But since you have an obsession with making it weird,
Well,
Weirder. Must entertain the masses.
if,
are they not
well.
entertained?
They are now. And afterwards, Brian
Not
is going
safe
to
for
do
work
this
content,
interpretive dance.
everybody.
Not safe for word content. That is not this channel, for sure. This channel is not safe for work.
I know.
trying to figure
Okay, so
out. I can.
go ahead there.
So I'm question. I've never met Yofflin. I don't know what he looks like or whatnot.
No.
Um, but there's something fishy about this corpse because it looks really well preserved.
Looks too fresh. Too juicy.
Um,
I don't know, he looks too juicy. Yeah, juicy.
Oh. well, if I'm just wondering if we show the female Drow the head of her supposed brother, the reaction she gets. I mean, like she's
Well,
like
UA is about to do something there with the head.
sticking on a
So
stick.
yeah, you yes, it'll be a head on a stick
On a
like that
steak.
rat from yesterday.
You know,
But-
just to let you guys know before you try anything too crazy. I do have a bardic inspiration which you can apply to not just an attack roll, but you can apply it to a skill check.
Well, I'm willing
Okay.
to
If somebody
try
wants,
deception on her, but my deception. Here's what I'm going to try to say to her to deceive her. I'm going to tell her it's best if she tells us where like the moon shard and stuff is at, and what their ultimate goal is. Telling us might go much easier on her versus them torturing it out of her when the authorities get a hold of her.
She
you
said,
know.
oh,
who
she
are
doesn't
the
say nothing.
authorities?
She says,
We are. Dorothy?
She don't know. She don't know who the authorities are.
No, she says, because she's gagged.
Okay.
But we're over here talking.
Oh, I thought you said you asked her that. So,
No, that's what I was talking to the group of our little party over here about.
gotcha. Okay.
Okay,
I wanted to.
I'm going to
Make
give
sure I
you
have-
I'm going to give you bardic
Mhm.
inspiration, which you can use for that. And I think it's where am I? Is that did I
You
move
guys
up
Mind if I
to?
do the thing that I've been trying to do for the last 10 minutes?
No.
Oh, go
Yes,
ahead.
do it.
What do you do? What have you been trying to do? I don't
I've
know.
been trying to say it.
Oh, there you go. See.
That's okay. Sorry. I'm not usually like this. I feel bad. UA finishes cutting the head off the body and stands up with the head in his hand, kind of by the hair. And he turns around and he kind of starts shambling over. He's kind of like staring straight at her. And he gets about here.
You going off the
And,
reservation? Is
I
that what you're
do-
saying?
What?
I said you're going off the reservation. Is that what you're saying?
I am. He is. He's got a very
Or going solo? I guess is more accurate.
odd look in his eyes. Well, he's
Rogue.
doing what you would
Going
do.
rogue. Yeah, there we are. That's weird.
Going rogue. Yeah, definitely rogue. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he just glares these evil daggers at her, and he does have the plainer speech.
Yeah.
Brian.
Okay.
So he says to her, like, "Who are you, woman?"
Did you add that to your sheet? The plainer speech.
Yes.
Did you do you have a description there? There you go.
There it is, right there.
Okay, so you communicate telepathically with her, and you say, "Who are you, woman?"
Yeah, I can't do it because I'm not a man, but he's just like, who are you, woman?
All right. So, it's a good question.
He's kind of turning his head, looking very, very feral almost. Almost as if he's kind of not himself. So, but the rest of you would just see him just suddenly stop and start looking strangely at her. And Apollo, who's over there snuggled up against her. Aww. In the burning bushes. Oh my gosh. Chiron's holy gauntlet is still there.
Hold on one second. So she responds. Can she respond? Oh yeah, she can respond telepathically with you, correct? Um, she says, "I am Sorrel, priestess to House Gillian."
So, 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 you wish to die?
She says, she says, "No, I do not wish to die, but death is definitely something that happens in the service of Loth, and if it must be, so be it."
Yes, Slag. Now would be a good time. I'm assuming since you're standing right there, you've noticed that he's looking at her and something's going on.
You hear
Well,
you hear out of the corner. You hear like from a ways behind you. You hear, "We could just offer her some tea and something to eat."
I hear that, or you hear that, or both of us hear that.
Both of you hear that. Everybody hears that. It's a real
And
deep,
he says to her telepathically,
real deep bass voice.
Oh yeah, okay, not telepathic.
Yeah. No, you all hear it. You all hear it, and
"Girl,
it's
tell me, do you like beef?"
and
Sorry.
she says, "I do have a fondness for deep Roth."
Is it Roth or Rothe?
Rothe? Is it Rothe? I think it's.
I don't know. Is it, which is it?
Only if it's French. If it's
Yeah,
French, it's
I
rosé.
think it's colloquialism. I think it's colloquial. You know, I think somewhere it's Rothe, but you know, some places it's just Roth.
It goes with the ninth Rothe.
It's like tomato and tomato. You know, potato.
Definitely. Where's my moon shard?
She says, "Your moonshard." She says,
My moon shard.
She says, I am sure by now Thusasta has it.
Did you cast your thing there, Rich?
Yeah, I put it in there,
Okay.
and Brian said it would work.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I did.
All right. I didn't know if he was aware of you casting it.
You put it in
What's
the
wrong with your eye,
up
Brian?
a ways. Yeah. It's, my eyeball. My fingers in it. That's what's wrong with it. So,
I'm so bad at questioning people.
uh,
You know, there's an easy fix for that.
I take my finger out of it? Wait, okay, so, um, okay, so yeah, you get the from the surface thoughts that you are, um, that she is basically on the up and up with that. You know, like you can tell that, and she says to you telepathically. She says that. So you kind of get some of these thoughts a little bit slag because you know she's speaking telepathically with UA, but you gather that the moonshard was delivered to Adrik's Folly, you know, like 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So-
2 days ago, I just okay. Let's see here.
And she's like, "While you fools were fumbling around and following us and trying to find us and heading to, you know, like to Adrik's Folly in your haphazard roundabout way, we have been to Adrik's Folly and back. only back this far, but still far enough to slow you down. Which, of course, was our purpose.
Mm. Hold on, Tanya's thinking about how she wants to say this. I have it. Yeah, you got it in your head, and you're like, if you say it, it's gonna be like, it sounded good in my head. Why am I not getting it out right now? Um.
Oh
Every,
yeah, well, oh yeah, huh.
everything
Maybe we
sounds
wanted you to think that.
everything sounds better in my head.
Hey, I'm gonna step away here just
Um.
for I can use the bathroom really quick, so.
All right. We're doing
Oh, sure, sure.
a five
I put
minute
an
break.
interrogation, and now I'll just stand pat. And,
Okay. Do we need to take a break or are we good?
and,
Okay. All right.
well, it's medication on mine makes me go to the bathroom more than I like to. So.
I think
It happens.
I
There
think
you, there's the content we're looking for.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think I honestly, just being me, I feel like I go to the bathroom more often than I want to, no matter how often I go to the bathroom. That's like I feel like that's a function humans shouldn't have to do. And
Oh, for every ounce of coffee I drink, I think I pee 3 times. So
it's not
this is
fair,
worth it.
man. It's not
20
fair.
trips. 20 trips.
Like
Well,
why?
then, rather than press on without him being here, do you want to talk about? Do you want me to say anything else, Rich? Scotty?
Why
Now
are
that we've
humans
got
so
her-
wasteful?
We're so
Can't
good.
think of anything.
Okay.
What can we expect at Hadrick's Folly? Hadrick's Folly?
Adric's Folly.
Yeah. I'm gonna have him ask what's the purpose of Adri's Folly then. Um, so the moon sharded. What was the
No,
name
keep
of
in
the
mind.
person she said
Keep in mind, you
who's
don't
got?
what?
She said that so and so has the moon shard by now. What was the name? It started with a T. It sounded
Yeah,
like?
T like Thuzasta, I think it is.
I don't know. Thuzasta or Teresa or
It's
something.
Thuzasta or Thuzista or it's something along those lines. It's written in your should be in your party notes somewhere. She said it before. Hang on, let me see. I can actually just can do a search for it. Nope, maybe I can't.
Thuzasta probably has the moon shard by now. Moon shard got there.
Another cleric of Lolth.
About 4
Um,
days ago.
hang on.
Like beef.
Trying to find out where you guys talked about it before.
It
Hang
was
on.
a ways back.
Oh yeah, it was. It was back in one of the earlier parts of the thing you do. There we go. After the owl bear? No, wait, was it? Mm,
Yeah, when you edit this for consumption, Brian, go and find that little spot and then have it inserted as a flashback right here, so that we can.
when I edit it,
Right,
when I
right.
edit it for yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. When you do that.
I'll do, and then right here. We'll do it. We'll do 3, 2, 1, and I mean, just thinking about it, and then it'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking notes. I don't see a Thuzasta.
Okay, I'm looking. Hold on. I'm trying to find out her name. Of course, this thing. I don't know why it's like that, but. Okay, I'm way back by the bell tower. Hang on. Oh, hold on. Oh, and guess what? Okay. All right. Hold on.
Thus spoke Zarathustra. Oh, sorry, that's wrong.
That could be.
No.
Could be right. Could be Zarathustra or something. Hang on. It's somewhere in here. I do think it's Thuzasta, but it could be like I could be transposing something, so it could be like Zuthasta, like
Yeah, right.
this Zasta.
Disaster?
This one,
Disaster.
not that, not
Yeah.
th- not disaster. Disaster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, um,
Disaster. I just tried to write it down. I want to be able to be like, the drow lady that did the thing with the thing, and you'll be like, who? And I need to be all like, Teresa.
it's
Yeah.
Thizasta, not
Disaster.
not Thuzasta. But there you go, like that.
All right. Oh.
Hey, we're gonna bring the disaster to disaster.
To Thizasta.
We're gonna bring the disaster to disaster.
Thizasta, the master of disaster. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
disaster.
Yeah. So, um, Thizasta is a you um when you ask him about the moon chart or whatever, you get that she that they are delivered it and whatever, and that it's the name comes to mind. Rich is Thizastagillion.
Gilead, huh?
Yeah, Gullion, like Gullion.
Oh, Goliath.
Sure, if that's how you want to pronounce it.
Alien.
Sure.
Bring it on.
She still says you still hear Gullion in your head, but you can pronounce it however you want.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Smythe. It's Smythe. Thank
Pronounce
you.
it wrong.
Smythe.
Annoy her.
They're
One of the
that British show Bucket. So good.
yeah, Mrs. Bucket, yeah.
Bouquet.
It's bouquet.
Keeping up appearances.
Are you being served?
Thank you.
Oh, I thought it was are you being served or have you been served or
Oh,
something
it's
like that.
That's a different one. Still British, still funny.
But yeah.
If you prove out,
Okay, so
that's my youngest son playing his reading.
oh good, you're back. So as she's going on about, oh yeah, you were all running around and things like that, he'll come up closer to her, and he will say, "Those adventures have their purpose, little one. Tell me about disaster."
She says. She says the Zasta is the she is the head of Adrik's Folly.
That is all.
She claimed the fortress for the spider goddess.
Wow. Your goddess must be proud,
What's that?
or is she displeased? He said your goddess must be proud, or is she displeased?
She says.
Telescope.
Malt,
She says.
Malt is always cranky.
She says. I don't know if she is pleased, but she is always proud.
During this period of time, I'm going to go ahead and try to press deeper, which means to see if there's any sub thoughts about there, particularly for more details, particularly for things that would be of danger to us, like they're waiting for us, they've got this trap, anything along those lines.
How much? How is it? The spell save DC of 15, correct?
Yeah, wisdom, I think.
It's a wisdom save.
Or it should be.
Or
My goodness,
intelligence,
this
I think.
one's-
No, it is
Is
wisdom.
it intelligence?
I don't know. It's hang on. Character has intelligence of 3 or lower. Doesn't speak. Okay, whatever. Hold on. Where is
And
it?
all sorts of stuff like through rock, which is not applicable. Quick, put her behind a rock wall to see if it works.
Probe Deeper must make
This spell
a
is-
wisdom saving throw. There it is. Okay. Took
Hey,
it
this
forever.
spell is particularly effective as part of interrogation.
Oh well, I got her distracted or some shit.
She did not make that wisdom save.
So,
So
so-
what are you probing deeper for?
particularly details about Adrik's Folly, and particularly about, what they don't know is we'll have this ready for them, or we'll have. I'm looking for suppressed thoughts, and I'll have or I'm telling them this, but we've actually already went and sent it to there, something along those lines.
Kind of like I know this information that I don't want to tell them, so I'm gonna
Right,
try to twist it. But at the same time, you've got to keep the information in your head so you can twist it.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly what you said, and I really do want to make sure that there's not something that they've that if there's a trap, I'd like to know about it and details particularly. So
okay.
Oh, I'll never see it coming.
It's a good
yeah, I
question.
mean they do know we're on the way. So don't
People
worry.
self-destruct
Oh,
in 5 seconds.
that's right.
Okay. You get the idea that the place is you know pretty well fortified. It's a small like castle keep, and not really super small. Um, let's see what else. You know that there's patrols. Regular patrols.
Uh-huh.
Um, and you know that uh, uh, Thazasta is like a female Drow general.
Ah,
Um,
and probably a cleric because that's kind of how their society works.
well, she's actually not a cleric. You get that from her.
Ah,
From the deep probe that is definitely
ah,
she's more of a warrior or a rogue or maybe sort of a cross between both. Um,
Warrior.
more like
warrior.
a really underhanded warrior. I mean, which would be typical of any evil drow, anyways. But
Right, right.
but like in this case, like she's risen to the ranks of general, so that gives you an idea of, she got there from being
Sure.
underhanded and tough. And she
Yeah,
does.
she. Yeah.
You do get the idea that she has a second in command. Um, I don't know that you would get her name, but the second in command is hang on, let me see if I can find out what she is. I think she is a priest. Yeah, she is a priest, a priestess. Yep, drow priestess, drow cleric.
Check.
Um,
I'm writing. So we continue, or is that it, Brian?
well, we're continuing. I'm just trying to decide, find out what all you would glean from from
Yeah,
the probe, the mind
talking
probe.
about Adrik's Folly. So yeah,
Well, yeah, but
I
the
just don't
point
want to
is,
move on to the next one before.
well, the point is you wouldn't glean everything, and it's very arbitrary on as to what you would glean. So,
Yep.
so
Of course, of course.
um,
Sorry, I want to make
Um.
sure the DM is not done talking before I move to the next subject. That's better.
yeah, okay, I will let you know when we can move to the next thing.
Thank
You okay? So you know that there's also some sort of
you.
thing about the dead. Like that's the how you were saying like you were looking for the aha specifically.
Yes.
Like the aha, but they don't know about that kind of thing.
Yes. Exactly.
The specific thing that you get off of that is something about the dead and about how Adric's Folly has some sort of tie to the souls of the dead.
So I will.
Hey, what?
I'm gonna share all this with people eventually.
And
So
it's essentially like it's almost a horrifying thought that you get because of the idea that you're doing this deep probe and you're in somebody's mind, you kind of feel it from their perspective almost,
Sure.
and that it's basically like you get the vision kind of or the thought of how every time someone dies at Adrik's Folly, they immediately stand back up. But not as they would be being alive. That they stand up back up as like an undead.
Interesting.
That is disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
And you also get from that same line of thought is the that there are several spirits that have begun to manifest around there.
It's as a result of this happening, or in conjunction with this happening, or
That is not clear,
gotcha.
but it wouldn't be unlikely to surmise, guess that, or infer that, like because that seems like, well, okay, if this soul can't go back to its body because the body is undead now, then the soul is not at rest. So it's a good chance it could become some other type of spirit, possibly too, or whatever, that kind of thing.
Sure, it's a lost spirit.
Yep.
Obviously, I can only push for so much, but having heard that it's well defended, obviously, I'm going to try to see if there's any thoughts
When you
about.
go ahead,
Go
sorry.
ahead. It's what I put in chat. Any secret or less obvious entrances than just a frontal assault. You know.
Um, let me see. Let me reread the thing here.
I imagine it's kind of like swimming through the thoughts, and I pick up this one, and ooh, I'm going to try to probe even deeper to see if there's like, we're well defended. They would never think to come from this angle.
Okay,
There's a
so
guard door or
yeah,
blah blah blah.
so you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries or over, or loves or hates. Um, but either way, the target knows that you're probing into its mind. Uh, so essentially, you don't get a location of any kind of other entrances per se,
Okay.
but you do hear, like, one other thing related to the dead. You hear a like a it's hard to explain because it's like almost like a really faint thought, but also a really loud one. So
Oh, okay.
it's kind of a strange paradox of a thought, and all it is the whispers, and then it's immediately cut off.
I'm going to obviously share this with everyone. I mean, I'm to
All right, and then Teeny, you can.
stop Yeah, if you can, if you're doing that, Tina, if you'd be so kind.
So you're gonna share, but
Yeah,
Rich
yeah.
share Slag shares that with everybody too, though. So I'm just So
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we're assuming when we're done, you're gonna.
when we're done.
everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
yeah,
you can
I've
communicate.
no,
You can communicate telepathically with Slag too. It doesn't say it's limited to one creature.
that's true.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
any creature you can see within 30 feet of you for that minute.
Okay, and he did cast a spell, and yeah. Okay. So yeah, you able to be like.
So
what?
you can communicate telepathically with anybody here, basically, within 30 feet.
Yeah, you'll just hear what in your head, like his voice is what. Slag.
The
Sorry.
whispers, the whispers. He's thinking loudly.
Yeah, and it's almost like when you detected that thought, it was almost terrifying to you, like in game mechanics wise, you almost had to make a wisdom save. Kind of scary.
Okay. Please disturb no
I,
wonder
I,
she's out away from Adrian's Folly.
By the time it reaches you, Teeny, it's more like disturbing rather than wisdom save scary.
Gives me that warm,
put it-
tingly feeling.
Again with your
Okay,
feelings.
all right. Keeping it weird since 1980. All right, so I got all these notes here. Sorry. Okay, so we're done with Adric's Folly. So, when she says, like, basically, I don't know if Loth is pleased, but she's always proud. He'll say, "Oh yes," kind of indicate to her, like, gently touch her chin and say, "I'm sure she has much to be proud of." So tell me, who brought Naranos' shadow upon us? Was it your Thazasta? Or did you not have that power?
She says,
He, whatever.
she says,
Yay.
she says, no, that is just a, that is just a byproduct of
Oh, wait a
the,
minute.
what? Wait a minute, what?
I think, and I could be recalling wrong, that Tinia remembers, although Yue would know that the moon shard was supposed to be holding this off.
Yeah, yeah. She said that is just a
Yep.
by. So yeah, then that's what she confirms. So she says that is just a byproduct of the ritual failing.
Yeah, I might be out
I thought,
from that because it's the spell's only a minute for detect
Right.
thoughts.
And well,
Fine.
and she says also like that the like she says Nerenaeus' shadow has been on the land for eons. She says it was not started by any specific drow that I know of, or any drow that I know of, but she says, but it could have been uh, it could have been Lolth herself for all we know.
then he says, well, I would give credit for such a great thing to such a great goddess. Something else. Why do you need my moon shard?
So I was gonna say.
Sorry. Okay, so she says she says, well, truth be told, she says, as a cleric of Lolth, she says that I believe that it was Lolth that caused this shadow, and that well, Thysasta's bloodline as a member of House Gillian is claimed to a sacrificial purge in which the spider goddess would claim 1,000 souls, and of course Thysasta's house um, swore upon the name of Lolth that should her house be spared, that she would claim 1,000 souls for them, for Lolth herself.
Okay. Okay.
She says
Um,
the moon shard is simply an extra means to an end, so to speak.
okay. Um, so when he's speaking to her, he's going to be very, even though he looks a bit deranged, kind of very calm and very almost understanding, very like almost patronizing, and um, he'll won't directly come out and say, "Oh, praise be to Loth," but he'll say things like, "Oh, yeah, such a great thing can only be accomplished by your goddess," and things like that. Like, I recognize that she's good. So then he'll say, so that's why there are so many souls around Adric's Folly. I see.
She says, uh, souls around Adric's Valley, and she kind of like looks a
Mm-hmm.
little bit worried, and she says, you did this, and she looks at Slag and she says, you should not have said anything.
Little one, I did nothing. I know more than you think. Are you going to be one of them?
She says, no, I'm nowhere near Adric's Valley.
Oh, so you're running away. Smart? What?
She says, "No, I'm not running away. I'm slowing you down."
Hmm.
She says,
So you think?
She said, you captured me. Remember, there's not really any running, but we're not close enough to Adric's Folly to uh, be affected by whatever blight there is there. She says, you see the dead walk at Adric's Folly.
And soon too, you may be one of them. Is this your wish?
She says,
You know,
again.
you know she was gonna kill herself,
She
right?
says, she says, she says, she says, I don't. She says, I don't know how many times I have to tell you that I do not wish to be dead. But if it is, if it is, if it is Lulth's will, then so be it. Naranaeus
He's
will
just thinking to himself, "No, lady, I'm trying to ask you if you want to be one of those souls there, but hey, okay."
She says, Naranius will smile upon her children.
Smile, smile.
You're saying this all telepathically, UA?
Well, yeah, but Tina, here's the thing.
Yes.
Saying,
Okay.
do you want to be
Right.
dead and do you want to be undead is kind of the same thing. It's like you know,
Hmm.
like
I guess what I'm thinking is like,
it's the same threat, is
well,
what I'm saying.
it's
Either way,
yeah,
she's
no, no,
dead.
I get it, I get it. It sounded good in my head, okay? It sounded good in my head. All right. Well, unless somebody else has any ideas.
Do you want to be dead or do you want to be dead and undead?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to be dead and have your
Do you want to
soul
be all
find
dead
you,
or
or do you
only
want to be
mostly dead?
or do you want to be dead and have your soul stuffed at Adric's Folly? And then again, she's like, I want to be given to love. Oh well, okay, have fun with that.
So I guess you
Okay.
would surmise from that she doesn't want to be undead because then her soul wouldn't be given to Lolth, maybe, I guess,
Yeah, I'm gonna
or maybe
surmise
she
that she
believes that, or
does
maybe she
not want
believes.
to be a.
Right, or maybe she believes that her soul would be in service of Lolth as an undead still. Who knows?
Right, 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 right. Okay.
Religion is
All right, I
crazy
will.
stuff.
Um. Okay, so he say, tell me, do you believe that it's more is it more beneficial to Loth if you are alive or dead? How would you best serve your goddess, alive or dead?
She says, she says, I would best serve my goddess. Hmm. I've always thought that I was serving my goddess as best I could, but I would, I would like to strive to be um, as powerful as Mina Larethar, or perhaps, uh, you know, perhaps, strive to be as powerful as a House Gillian uh, matron mother.
Okay, whatever that name was, Melon Lenithar or whatnot.
Yeah, Mina Larethar.
Do I know this name? Is this some like what
Well,
Drow matron or something or?
Yeah. You don't know the name, um,
Hmm.
but it's it's a higher cleric. Essentially, you get from the idea from her that she's really more of just like a kind of like a lowly, like a more like just above an acolyte type of thing.
Hmm. Okay. All right. I will note the name down and I will ask.
And then it makes sense to
Um.
you. It makes sense to all of you probably that they wouldn't send their their most powerful guys out to be slaughtered,
Cannon fodder.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they thought you guys were a formidable force, so or if they were trying, unless they were trying to maybe kill you straight out, but you know that she's only told you so far that they and even surface thoughts detection that they're trying to slow you down.
that means they're worried about us.
So
Yeah.
I guess
There's some sort of threat. Yeah.
at that point in time too, Nanu would probably say, "Well, if they're trying to slow you down, it must be because they're trying to accomplish something before we get there."
That too.
Yep.
They're buying time.
So,
Um.
are we done with the interrogation?
I'll ask her what are they trying to buy time for. I'll kind of frame it as in why do you harry me?
He says, well, or,
I'm trying to relax.
or she says, well, when the first delivery of 150 prisoners was granted, uh, or when the first delivery of 150 prisoners to the cause was achieved, Noranius herself, or sorry, Lulth herself, granted Thesasta personal clergy to aid her in her endeavor, as well as the Shadow Spider.
Hmm.
They got a hard
So
sacrifice of souls towards their goal of 1,000.
Lasta has a shadow spider.
She says, now that we have the second 150. Okay, so no, the first, when she says the first one, when the first delivery of over 150, that's what she says. And she says, now that we have the second amount of prisoners, it is helping us reach helping Thesasta reach her goal. She says, though, I don't know how many she has left before she reaches 1,000.
Exactly. We need to get
Okay.
there and stop whatever they're planning because they can't be any good. That's my thought.
She says, of course, I'm
Okay.
happy to talk with you about it. And you see her smile.
Oh really?
Because the longer we talk, the longer we're sitting here and not moving.
So he will kind of indicate for her to stand up, and he'll say a few more then.
What's that? You said he'll say what?
He'll indicate for her to
I
He'll
heard that
indicate
part.
for her to stand up and say, "Yeah, let's go deliver her a few more then."
Oh, let's go deliver a few more. Okay. All right.
And
So
then he says to whoever's within range, within 30 feet. All right, then let's go sacrifice you to Loth.
okay, and you hear out of the background there, you hear Nanu say something like, "The dead walk there. I heard that was actually a thing, but I didn't know that it was true." He says, "How
Uh,
exciting!"
I know, right? Oh, it's like kindergarten all over again.
You had Walking Dead in kindergarten?
like
What school did you
Yeah.
go to?
the school of Clive Barker horror.
Clive Barker School for Little Necromancers. I will make sure that he does let you guys all know the things that he found out.
We've all made mistakes. The Necromancer's Guide on Raising Your Dead Wife. Anyway.
Are the kids during nap time, are they actually sleeping or are they dead? Okay, so what are we gonna do with what are we gonna do with our chatty friend?
Well, he figures that we'll just keep walking with her there, and he'll keep talking to her. If she wants to give more information, he'll chat with her while we're on our way.
Okay.
If not, as far as he's concerned, and he'll let you know, Sly, because you're probably saying it to her. He's just like, I don't care, sacrifice it alone. I don't know,
He's kind of
whatever.
she's kind of a little bit less less talky, now that you guys are actually on the way. She was in the hopes that you guys would stay there and keep talking, and then of course she's doing her job at that point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But the more they're getting closer to accomplishing whatever they're doing, planning, doesn't sound like anything good, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh, no. They're trying to sacrifice 1,000 souls to Loth because she did a deal with Loth to spare her own family. If she doesn't make the sacrifice of 1,000 souls, Loth's going to come down and eat her.
So okay, when I said it
So,
was 2 days ago that they delivered it to Adric's Folly, it was a day ago.
mm-hmm.
So that
Okay.
was off. And as you guys notice, be this day 3, 4, 5, it's hard to tell, you know.
Right, because
But
it's dark.
as you notice, the shadow lifts into a gray dusk.
Uh-oh.
You emerge from the forest into a low valley leading north to a hillside and then to a set of sheer cliffs. Thinning trees lead to debris-covered clearings outside an old gray castle, Adrik's Folly. About a
I could,
quarter mile away, you notice a change in something. You get this feeling of unnameable dread. And you think that you've may have wandered into the area that she referred to as the as the Walking Dead area or whatever, the Dead Walking area.
So like just kind of like zone around Adric's Folly.
Yeah, it's
walk
just
into
kind
its
of like this
influence kind of
area,
thing?
yeah, like this area of influence, kind of.
it's where you take your dead for a walk, to get
Yeah,
exercise and relieve
Oh, the dead
themselves. It's
park. I
they
gotcha.
where they
the
do
dead walking area.
where they
Run
do their
around and play with other undead
where they do
sniffing.
the and they do
Exactly.
their business, and there's little signs that say "Curb
Yep.
Your Dead," like.
Curb your dead.
Right. You quit humping Fido. Yeah, okay. Tell ya.
See, there's a line that we draw, and with the idea that maybe it won't get crossed, but every time
And
it
then we
gets
try to walk
crossed.
across it.
Now we try to walk across.
Farkas just said we need to keep our eye out for patrols.
Good idea.
Alright. Oh,
Those with good
I don't
perception.
got more hydration. I gotta get more hydration, Puffin Man. I don't know how long ago that was either. Alright, so let's take a break right there, guys. Let's do that.
Let's take a break.
I'll grab
we
something
going to go
to drink.
Are we going to go to a new map?
Yes, we are going to a new map.
Oh boy.
Now let's take a break and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
Back.
All of you will be included.
Okay, now we're back. All right, so um, let's see. I'm trying to think who would know. I mean, Gregor would obviously know some stuff. The Minotaur archaeologist would have a wealth of
Hmm.
knowledge about some of the stuff. Um, as for you, Slag, you might have a chance at knowing just because of who your parents are. So,
Mm-hmm.
but so go ahead and make a like a history or yeah, history check would probably be a good one.
That's what I figured. I had it pulled up, and 18.
Where am I? Oh, okay. I'm way
Yeah,
up
not bad roll.
scrolled way up for some reason. Oh, I was gonna do this too, by the way.
I put what we know about Noranius' shadow in the roll 20 chat. We questioned that lady before we went into the dark woods. The first head. We questioned first head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 18.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we question people, then we decap it.
you would definitely know a little bit about
Right.
the Drow matriarchy and like how in like most Drow cities that they are, especially ones that serve Lolth, they are a matriarchal society. Um,
Mm-hmm.
is there something specifically that you want to know if your character would know?
Mentioned House Gillian. I want to know if that would mean anything to us.
You're from this area, so I would think that for you, for Slag, it would mean something a little bit to you. Um, they are they are not as prominent or well known anywhere near as well as House Bainray, but for
Mm-hmm.
this area, they might be the equivalent. It'd be kind of like if it would be kind of like, let's say, the Bloods and the Crips of L.A. were
Mm-hmm.
were also based in Flint. You know,
Mm.
it would be like the Bloods and the Crips would still be well known in Flint, but they might call themselves something else. Like the Reds and the
Mm-hmm.
Blues or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be about that well known. So like you being from the area, you would know about them, but you know if other people were outside the area, they probably wouldn't know about Husgullion.
Are they well known
Millers
enough to have their
Milligans.
own walk?
Are they well known enough? What?
Are they well known enough to have their own version of the crypt walk?
The Crip Walk? I don't know.
Um,
God, no.
let me see.
Maybe, but they're not the Bloods and the Crips. Forget that analogy. It was a terrible analogy.
Hey, you set it up. I just followed through for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's on. It's recorded. It's forever. It's
Oh, we're back
canon.
on. Good.
And now the Bloods and the Crips will be seeking me out. Anyways,
You'll be alright.
they'll be like, dude, they might feel sad for me. That's what when they get here, they'll be like, oh man, we can't do nothing to this guy. He's sad enough already.
So, did you guys notice what Farkas was saying there?
Hoobastank? What?
Farkas wants to pose to the group. I think that they are planning on some type of ceremony to make the world stay in perpetual darkness/twilight.
Ah, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Okay,
Um,
so there you go. You already put up
UA knows
Naranias.
about this event,
You
so
already
yeah.
put Naranias's shadow. It's it's
Yes.
actually it's this though. Naranias.
It's not a permanent thing, is it? Yeah. How do you say it? I don't know.
So you can say either one, but Naranias is basically like I kind of think the Anius part is
Uh-huh.
relating to spiders. Like Anya, Aranya. Aranya is a spider.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So Narania's
Okay.
shadow, kind of like that.
Called the Spider Darkness.
Anyway, so I think that might be, I think Naranius is probably House Gillian's speech for Spider Queen, um, or Spider Goddess or something. But so yeah, the eclipse, happens, um, like once every eon or whatever, like for 3 days. let's see. Yeah, did I?
And it just seemed to, and and just going back and recapping, normally the shard helps with that was stolen, so that's part of the kerfuffle.
Well, yeah. So the vigil, the vigil of light or vigil for light is what basically the ritual that they do to stave off the eclipse. The eclipse is 3 days long. Um, and so if they don't do the vigil, the ritual, and it's not successful, then the eclipse happens. Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
Watch
So
it.
the eclipse only lasts 3 days.
Well, yeah, roughly, yeah. It lasted a little bit longer this time because of outside forces, but yes. Normally, it would only last for 3 days. This time, you're fairly certain it was 4 to 6, let's say.
mm,
So
okay.
we're coming out of the eclipse. We're going through the penumbra. I mean, it does it occur as far as we no. I guess we wouldn't know.
I don't know what you know.
Yeah,
What do you know?
yeah. This is from what we know about eclipses in our
I
world.
don't remember
Isn't-
what UA knows. That's my problem.
That's true. It comes to
I know
you in
he
little
knows about.
sparks.
Well, that and I did roll high a while ago. Like
Mhm.
many sessions ago. Which I did write some of it down, but you write it down in short form. you think I'm gonna remember this, and you don't. So
Yeah.
Well,
he knows enough to know that it's not natural.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think Farkas is onto something. They probably would much prefer it to continue and not let up on its own, which is why they may
um.
have taken the moon shard, or
I.
they may have just taken it because they
How
knew it was
about
coming.
how about I do a little plot dump, like a little lore dump. Because
Okay.
I'm sure what's her face would be more than glad to talk about the Saral would be more than glad to talk about Neranius' shadow because it's such a great thing, right? Um,
Oh yeah, if she's willing to
Sarah.
keep talking to me all day, heck.
so well, if you ask the right questions, if you ask things about things as lovely as Neranius' shadow, then of course.
And love, tell me about your goddess. Oh.
So only a handful of upper world scholars know anything about Neranius' shadow. Ancient elven history refers to the dark day that the Drow left the surface to pursue life below ground. But that event is so rare that not even these venerable sources have considered when it might happen again. However, heroes capable of challenging intelligence checks, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, many of the well-known mortal races have the ability to see in pitch darkness. Obviously, elves, dwarves, orcs, half-orcs, they all see better than humans. Chief among these are the races that live below ground, and of course the undead humanoids who see in darkness even without eyes. Um, the world is surrounded by heavenly bodies, stars, moons, planets, and beyond. Uh, almost complete. They pass by almost completely unnoticed. Infrequently, one body passes closer to the other and looms larger than the others, blocking out the rays of the moon or the sun. Most eclipses that you would know would last a few minutes or even a few hours. A grand eclipse oversees many moments in history, from dark portents as the birth of a despot, or shadow covering a climactic battle to the sun vanishing until a prayerful people are released from slavery. Eclipses mark dates and events to remember. No event in Aventur's or in sorry in not Faroon. What is the name of this? Toril. In Toril's
Aberturil. Yep.
yeah. In Bir Toril, like in recorded history, has described darkness so total that not even the stars shine. A few ancient elven tomes mention a dark episode called Neranius' Shadow, or Lolth's Shadow, which is supposed to herald a cataclysmic event that befalls the elves. So few writings of this event exist that the actual event, that a similar actual event has only been recorded one time. An eclipse that lasted for days that and presaged a great war that decimated the elven numbers.
Sucks to be an elf.
So that's kind of what
Yeah.
you like, through her whatever blah blah rambling about how great Narania is a shadow. That's kind of what you get out of it, basically.
Okay, yeah.
And by,
I'll pass it on.
are you still doing this telepathically?
No, no,
Yeah, he's not gonna speak it out loud.
she's
But if she's saying it out loud,
yeah, she's saying all
Okay,
this out
okay.
loud. Oh wait, I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
But who are you talking to now?
I was
it'll
asking.
get out to somebody.
All right, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't want to act on stuff I doesn't know.
Pass it around. Right? No, I get you.
We'll whisper to each other, and we'll all have a different type of thing.
Here's like, have a cup of all the information we just gathered.
Yum 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 yum.
Put Tabasco in it.
Okay. So how much do you? Oh man, I wish I would have. I wish I would have been keeping track of like the total experience you guys have gotten. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Today or
Like total, like the whole time. I mean, I guess your total would be technically the total, but so, but you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, funny. Yeah, yeah. There's a word that they use to describe that. What
it's
was
called
it?
total, I think.
I
Goodness.
have the amount of XP we've earned in each session since I started recording, which is on 7/22/23.
Right, but
Ah.
you would have to add the amount of XP that you all have together, and then I'd have to add all the XP that the the NPCs have in there too.
The NPCs.
Yeah.
The NPCs, which are becoming less N all the time.
Well, they're they're secondary player characters now as a SPCs. All right, so let's see. Okay, so yeah.
Gregor would probably mention, do you think going in the front door is the best way? Are we just going to walk up and try and tell them to stop their evil ways?
Yeah, and I got you on the map here, but you don't have to be like necessarily right there in front of the thing yet.
Right at the door.
I just put you there so you guys can actually see the map. But
Yep, that's good.
but
Well, remember,
you
we
guys
focused
remember
all
I
of
did
us.
remember I did say you guys were a quarter mile off. You know, this doesn't look
Good
like a
point.
quarter mile. So, you know.
That means each of these
Yeah.
squares.
Dang it, now I got to go change the measuring.
So yeah, I hear you, but what? So and what? So what are we going to do with that then? So we're going to say let us in because we have this person that you know.
We can make it look like she's captured us.
He says, you hear Nanu say something as you guys are discussing the capture, like the capture plan, make it look like she's captured you, kind of thing. You hear Nanu say, "Oh, go ahead. Sorry. What? No. What? I mean, what?
I was gonna say, as far as UA is concerned, he brought y'all for sacrifice, but
Oh.
he's willing to entertain other ideas.
Okay, you hear Nanu speak up from the back though, and he says,
Yeah, go ahead, Nanu.
He says, you know that Adrik's Folly has stood sentinel over the land for generations. It's locally known as the Key of Stepping Stones. It allowed the Clavic Kingdom to finally wrest that which is now Rebalka from the Vic Mordir. He says, it's been undermanned since its original purpose was served, and the castle fell roughly 8 years ago to the Vic Mordir. He says, the commander of the keep at the time, a Lord Adrik Holmir, was paranoid of the Vicmordir attack and that they would be unable to endure. So he, uh, as legend would have it, he commissioned an escape route to be built somewhere under the castle.
So that was the point you're getting to. That there's another entrance.
He
That
says,
is an escape
he
route.
says, he says, well, I'm sorry if I'm wordy. I'm interested in the architecture and the history of this place. Why else would I have you bring me here?
No, that's
He
right.
says,
That's
I am
all
an
right.
archaeologist after all.
So does Nuku have any idea where this exit or entrance may be? I mean, we can't go up to the dang thing and start feeling around for bricks. It's probably going to be a cave somewhere.
He says, well, we are a quarter mile away. I can't see it from here, but I don't even know that it actually exists. It is only rumor and legend and happenstance after all, but it does make sense that a well-planning commander would create such an exit.
Hey, we live in the time of legends, and legends and fables. So I think we should actually count on the fact that there is one.
He says,
So,
well, of course
What?
you would know, my friend, and he smiles and kind of slaps you on the shoulder.
Imagine, even if he's not that strong, he's still quite
He
forceful
says,
with his slap.
he says,
I would imagine.
I do wish that I do wish that your legendary father were here to help us out in this matter.
You would
no-
be both, brother.
No offense.
Oh no,
He says, he says you here as well, of course.
No, Dad
I
had
didn't
a
want to put that in there.
had a way with it. Can you do it
Sorry,
twice?
I'm accidentally putting things in chat. No. I went to close it instead of hitting the words. I hit the bubble. Yeah. I'm gonna percept to make sure that we don't have any patrols.
Okay, and like I said, you guys.
Should be sneaking.
Here, let me do this.
Sure.
Let me put you guys up on a wooded trail map here. You guys see this map? Hold on, no, I didn't change maps yet, so you can't see nothing. So, okay, you guys see this map?
I see some trees.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, so this wooded trail, you guys will be like somewhere on this wooded trail, a quarter mile off from Adrik's Folly. You can see it up in the distance. Perception-wise, quarter mile, you can definitely see some movement. Yeah, castle, the battlements near the tops, along the castle wall, and on the ground itself. You every once in a while you see movement of what appear to be patrols walking around the castle.
There's a pattern to them.
So it's hard
Like
to
every
it's hard
hour, or-
well, okay, it's hard to catch a pattern of every hour unless you're going to stay there for more than an hour. So how long are you going to stay there?
I guess you're right. How long are we gonna stay here?
I'm willing to climb up a tree and just park up there for a while and keep a lookout to see what's going on. Report back. That's up to you
Scout
guys.
for some nip.
You hear Saral say, "I like you, strange one," and she's specifically talking to Yue. And she says, "There is something about you." She says, "I would call it a killer instinct." She says, and I think that's what I'm liking. She says, I will let you know that even though I have done my best to keep you away from here, I will let you all know you've done a spectacular job in not being slowed down too much. He says, I do believe we are arriving earlier than expected.
Is she saying it seductively like that?
I guess if I sound seductive, Richard, call me.
I mean, is she telling the truth? How do you see she's
You can do insight check. You can do an insight check,
Yeah,
just
Okay.
like a
Yeah,
base,
me and
you
my
know,
insight
gut
check.
instinct on whether or
Okay,
not
I
she's telling the
believe
truth.
She thinks I'm pretty.
you. Honestly, he probably just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
She.
you're seeking your wife, man. Come on,
You
focus.
do 11. You do not think she is, being deceitful.
Mm,
You don't
I
necessarily
popped up.
feel like she's being seductive to you either, because you kind of are not really
mm.
interested, probably. But
It's just your.
True,
It's
true,
it's the
true.
voice. It's the voice you use, Brian. It sounded like,
well,
well, you know.
she's impressed. She's impressed by
Oh, okay.
UA's killer instinct. Like probably if UA were to beat her a little and tie her up and whip shame. No kink shaming, because but tie her up and beat her a little, she'd probably be all happy. Like, but
Well, she hasn't pissed him off enough yet for him to do that. Yeah. She'll,
Yeah,
she's a whips and
he will
chains
beat her
excite
with
me
her
girl for
butterfly.
sure.
Yeah, isn't it? I'm sorry.
so
Usually she's used
yeah,
to
I just
using them on her mates, though.
yeah, she likes the flails. Uh, I popped up to speak with animals because what the heck, Gregor's got that, and if there are any
Ah.
animals around here that I'm thinking squirrels or birds or something that he could ask them possibly some information and help locate the potential existence of this back entrance.
Okay, hold on one second. That's a good.
They might
do
also
I
know
not
about
have?
the
I don't.
guards' patterns and things like that, the changing of the guard and all that. Since
They
they live
might, but
here.
I mean, but how do you think? I don't know. I
Well,
could ask, but
she
a,
did
a squirrel?
right. Well, I was gonna say.
Still,
I was.
still would know. I don't come out every. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say Saral also did volunteer the information that you guys might be arriving earlier than expected. So I mean, there might be
Yeah.
she might volunteer information or she might not. So it's but let's see.
Oh well. Yeah, but I mean, uh, going in the
Earlier
secret
than
way, I wouldn't think she would volunteer that information. And they have particularly weak knees. If you hit them in the knees, they go down like a pancake.
So he's gonna. Yue will ask her. Um. God, I didn't know how to word this. He's going to say, like, there's got to be another way in here besides the front door. How do we sneak in and catch them by surprise? Because if we do so, then you, little one, can take those souls for yourself, can't you?
she
You wouldn't
says
you be greater in the eyes of Loth?
she says she says I don't know 100% what you mean, but I do think that there's definitely another way in. She says I said or she says that no drow would ever be dumb enough to not leave a way out.
Makes
Obviously
sense.
not. So what he's trying to suggest is hey, Disaster is going to sacrifice these souls on her own behalf. Why don't you take the souls and sacrifice them on your own behalf? Because Loth is all about deceit and backstabbing. She'd probably be pretty like, yeah, all right. This is how you go up in Drow society. So
She says, "Well, I
kind of
don't."
hint like that.
She says, "I don't." She says, "I don't know that I'm strong enough to do that." She says, "But she says the thought is enticing, to be sure."
You got to work on your core first. That's where your strength comes from. So lots of
Right, right. Not, less cardio.
All right, so Rich, make me a D100, and wait before you do. Pick low or high. Do you want to roll high and it be good, or do you want to roll low and it be good?
low.
Okay, so you're going for low, and you're going for 25% or less. Ooh, 90. Should have went high. Oh
Should
well.
Should have gone high.
Yeah, because then that would have been over 75%. Would have been high. Yep. So okay. So okay.
Squeaker, mix squeaking.
This way, I
Yeah,
kind of gave you a 50-50 at a 25%. I don't know how that works, but
yeah.
it's 25% with advantage. Um. Okay. Are you going to cast that? Hold on one second.
The dreaded sound happens when you make your stealth roll. Your phone goes up.
Yep.
Then you do the Homer Simpson. Oh,
You know, that's actually transcended Homer Simpson now, I think. I think it's just become part of regular societal. I think everyone can go dope. Dope. When Brian comes back from the phone call, I want to see if um, we should check on Farkas to see what he spotted up the tree.
Any catnip up there, Farkas?
no.
No. Silvervine? I hear that has the same effect on cats.
Because
Well, when it
it's still somewhat winter time, so things don't grow normally, and anything that was green is turning brown because of lack of sunlight.
right, and with the snow and all that, it probably would have either buried it or it'd be so dead and rotted and
Dry
untellable.
catnip will work. You know, like you know how you dry herbs out. A dried one from the
Yeah.
fall season into the winter will dry out. You could still use it, but also with the sun not being present, anything that would relatively need the chlorophyll to process, you know, photosynthesis is dying. So
True, true. Just FYI for the future, we do have a paladin. He can sense the presence of evil within a 60-foot radius. So when we get farther up,
who's our
since I'm
paddle?
playing him, please somebody remind me. Thyron Warstriker. He's an NPC.
Oh, goody two shoes.
Yeah, who's afraid of fire?
Sorry for the screaming. My son's a little loud.
Oh, I can't hear anything at all, really. Um, so couldn't technically Farkas, once he finds catnip and all that, couldn't he dry it and have like a pouch on him, or is he just finally ran out?
I finally read that.
Haha.
That's some I was hoping Adrik's Folly was a town that might have had a herbalist in it. I wasn't expecting to be some sort of stronghold with a bunch of undead creepy crawlies.
Hey, you
Well,
never
I mean-
know. Maybe there's some alchemist
Okay, sorry
that
about that.
down underneath. There's got some ancient old dried catnip. And
Ancient
people do
dried
drink it with tea.
catnip. Well, here's the thing.
We'll tell you.
I'm gonna say that Farkas, you have not, as far as I remember, said that you're gonna look for any catnip yet.
Well, I have been. That's what I was doing when they first come across me.
Well, yeah, then.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's been like 2 or 3 days since then. And you haven't said, "Hey, I'm gonna go look for some catnip specifically."
well, I just
Well,
assumed
to
that
be fair, we were kind of fighting.
because it's the time of season. What's going on with the weather or the
Right,
sunlight?
but you could theoretically make a foraging check, like a survival check right now, and go look and see if you can find some. It's probably not exactly the region or the season, but you might be able to come up with something.
Yeah, my
That's the thing now.
survival very good.
Your survival's not very good.
Well, maybe you can find some silver vine.
Uh, you could have
If
Gregor.
have to
You
go
could have Gregor. You could have Gregor make a survival
He's
check.
a
If you
house
if
cat,
if you
okay?
talk to somebody about
Yep.
if you talk to
Sure.
somebody about your problem, then they could know, and then you could. But I don't know if you would talk to somebody about your problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it on the down low. I don't
Okay.
want it to be advertising. Hey, just to let you know, your friendly rogue over here is an addict.
All right. So, Rich, you were gonna cast Speak with Animals?
Yep.
Okay. Give me a what is it? A D20.
Wasn't that the what the D100 was for?
That was to see what the chances of running into any animals was.
Oh, okay. D20 it is. Doink.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice any animals around within like within spitting distance, so to speak. With like that anything you can see that's
Right.
you can communicate with right then. Um,
The dead
you do
land
know,
seems to be dead for animals as well.
yeah, you do know that it could be because of that, because maybe they're afraid of the Walking Dead, or because of they're afraid of the spirits, or the zone that you walked in, and you kind of got that funny feeling, like that, irritating, disheartening feeling, like that kind of could have scared them off. You do know that you could probably find an insect or something that you could talk to, but it might not give you the greatest of information, because you also know that insects are not very bright compared to what you need to, at least not in terms of human level of intelligence.
What about if there's any flies? I mean, the undead usually are kind of decaying.
Well, that's what I was
Maybe
saying.
not
Like,
very
you can
fast
find
in
it.
this
That's
case,
it.
but
Flies.
flies like to lay on things that are.
Flies still an insect.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, if you have like a zombie, the
Yeah.
fly might be like, I know where to find meat. And the meat would be a zombie.
Right.
Because it's kind of decaying and nasty.
Right. Yeah. If you ask the insect the
Oh,
right
flies.
questions, yeah. If you ask the insect the right questions, you definitely can, you know, reveal something.
Slag is going to find the privy, and we're going to have to crawl up that hole, aren't we?
Well, actually, that's like this is Gregor, but that's okay. Because
Oh, it's
Slag
Gregor?
doesn't
Oh,
talk to
God.
the animal. Gregor,
Oh, okay. Gregor,
if
try.
all right, do it. Can
Oh,
I
I
talk
thought it
to a
was
fly?
slag. Yeah, you could talk to a fly. They're beasts.
Yeah, no, yeah. Gregor's his rangery thing. He's like,
Okay.
it's like, oh yeah, I'll talk to animals. Okay, little fly. Uh, I we have some nice. We're gonna make a lot of nice decaying meat for you to eat. Could you lead us to a hole that gets into that
Where
fortress?
does the living meat
Hole
come out?
that's. Can you
Oh.
do that for us?
It responds something like meat, and then takes off flying. And
That's
then
what I figured.
and then yeah. So so the question is also still, how long are you guys going to kind of like wait here, or move up slowly, or monitor the place? It appears to be right around like probably like what would be like 10 a.m.
Okay.
So about two
You
two
guys
hours
might see if
before
you can
high
get
sun.
Sorrel to. Um. Yeah, can we get to? Well, Sorrel says there's an exit. Obviously,
She
He's
says
gonna press her again.
she says
Tell us
she
where it
doesn't
is.
know where it's at. She says her and Yofflid only delivered the moon shard, and that was this is their first time being here. And then she looks shocked that she told you that, and then immediately she has this look on her face. You know how when somebody says something that they didn't mean to say, like,
All the time.
and then it's kind of like oops, like I might have given away too much information, kind of thing. Like. And
So
I don't know,
wonder why you're not eager to take
slag
advantage of this.
slag you might have this overwhelming urge to cast detect thoughts suddenly again, but you're not sure how it might be more of a waste of a spell slot at this point, but like.
You're just giving me the feeling.
I'm just giving,
So-
yeah. You just kind of like you notice that she's holding something back,
Oops.
Okay, then he'll say in her head, then, what is it?
So you can only do that once a long rest, right?
What? No, I can speak till I'm blue in the face.
You can communicate a divine being. Oh, I thought it said you could only do it once a minute. Like I thought it only lasted a minute. Okay. Oh, okay,
No,
yeah. So
that's my
that's
my detect thoughts only
right.
works
I
for
thought
me.
it was both though, but okay. All right, yeah, yeah. So you're asking
Mm.
her head. What are you asking her in her head now?
Well, first of all, he'll assure her that, their conversation is private, and he'll say, "You seem upset. Speak to me. What is it?"
She says. She says we didn't come to Adrik's Folly from like with the other group. Obviously, we had to steal the moon shard first. She says it was an error in revealing that we didn't. And she sounds and like you get the sense that she's kind of downtrodden, like or disappointed in herself that she revealed it.
He'll say something to the effect of, you know, he's not going to be all like, "Oh, don't worry, it's okay," but he'll say, "Oh, remember, you only reveal what Loth wishes for you to reveal." Like, "Oh, by Loth's grace,
Turns
you
it
have
is.
said what you should say," and I think you're destined for great things. I think your goddess wishes for you to take these souls for yourselves. But maybe I believe in you more than she does.
Ooh, nice one, nice one.
Okay, now you're coming on to her.
He can play the game.
The subtle art of seduction. Oh wait, no. Well.
Puts a little arm around her. It's okay, baby. How you doing?
All right. So,
You for a smoke a pancake?
any ideas? How long? Like, you guys gonna stick around?
Let's head on off. Let's
Uh,
let's venture forth.
15 minutes and then we. Yes.
15 minutes, huh?
Let's try to see if we can't find this exit. Rend time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Does anybody have Pass Without a Trace? Gregor doesn't.
Oh, and Farkas is going to roll to see what he can see up from the tree before he comes down.
Yeah, my character's out on this.
Okay. So
Yeah,
who's doing what?
We had a vigil.
Who's doing what? Who's doing what during the 15 minutes of where we're standing here talking to the Drow and perceiving the castle? Like what all are you like what all you have going on there? Like
Well, on my way to climb up the tree, I was going to make a nature check to look for catnip.
okay,
Or
you're
something similar.
yeah do it.
And once we're up in the tree, I was going to roll a perception.
Do a survival check because I'm pretty sure you probably know what catnip looks like.
Yeah. Or similar to
I mean, you
I
could
don't
do.
have a character sheet to see what my.
And I would say like for nature check to like if you're gonna just trying to make sure it's catnip, you would do that at advantage. So 17. What's your survival? Anything?
Actually, I rolled a 9.
Oh,
I don't have my character sheet
gotcha.
up.
Oh yeah,
it's the double rolling thing.
he double rolled.
Okay. You don't have your character sheet up?
No, I don't. It's just the blank map.
Yeah, but you can have your character. I don't. Oh, okay. No, I don't know.
I don't see my character on the map to
Yeah.
access it.
Yeah, I thought okay, so I just popped mine out. That's why I don't think about it that way. 1 second. Let me find you, Farkas. There you are. There's Farkas. Callan. Spike. Apollo.
Is it survival or nature?
You want to go survival? Survival to find.
The catnip.
Yeah.
That would have been all 11. 9 plus 2.
11.
Yeah.
Yep. You don't find any. Silverhorns.
And I'll roll my perception check.
Golden Laser. Yep. Gregor.
what I noticed up at the tree. Let's say,
Thyron. Um, Gregor's passive perception is 16. I think he would notice Farkas looking for something.
Okay.
I don't know
I
that
would
he would.
notice.
I don't know that he would interfere right away and help. But if he were to help, he would probably just go over and say, "Looking for something," like that,
Sure.
something along those lines.
Looking for something.
I'll just say some herbs.
Yeah. I'm attuned to the wild. I'm pretty good at finding herbs. What do you want to look for?
Catnip.
There's a bunch. I was gonna say there's a bunch over there. There's some herbs, and look over there. There's some more herbs. Oh, catnip. Sure.
And
In a very short, tense, crisp manner.
And did I mention more herbs?
Cadius nippus. Let me have a look.
All right, so so Gregor, you can make a survival check. 18. Okay. All right. Pick high or low. Farkas.
I'll go low.
Okay, so he actually does find a small little thing of catnip.
Like this.
Like
This is catnip right here, right by my toe. Maybe you didn't see it because I stepped on it. Here you have some.
I'm sure Farkas is like,
But this, to see his eyes get like extremely large and dilated, like
aw, cute
Like
kitty
in-
eyes.
extremely excited.
he does the cute cattle face from Puss in Boots.
The Puss in Boots look.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Kind of big toothy grin and his eyes light up. So,
I should throw that piece of artwork in here. With him like the catnip.
oh my
I got you.
Um,
Alright, so yeah, you find some catnip. What's everybody else
I did
doing?
roll 24 for my perception while I was up in the tree to scout out.
What's everybody else doing in the
UA was
during
doing
the 15
conversing
minutes?
with Saral.
Okay, so you're gonna talk with her basically for 15 minutes and like
That's
have a
what he's been
conversation
doing,
with her
yeah.
and stuff. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah,
I'm just. Okay. What else are you gonna do?
I figure Gold Sneezer is just kind of off. There you go.
That-
That one, yeah.
yeah.
Just stay here. There.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of nothing else I want to do.
You're just going to what? Just move over there?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he wants to do, so he's gonna move over there. Okay, so
I'm good.
obviously in talking with her, we got all the information about she's never been there. Obviously, there's gonna be a back door, but she doesn't know where.
Okay. After
Um,
nearly the 15 minutes is over with, Gold Sneezer says, "A dozen." That's you.
How high is Gold Sneezer right now?
He is not high. You don't get high. Well, because Pyrite doesn't make you high.
Byron will walk over to Gold Sneezer and said, "What is it, little friend?"
He says, "A dozen. Oh, plus 2 extra. I see
Dozen what?
2 extra along the rear. I see them going back there once in a while."
Oh, we have friends or enemies?
He's
Is it
like
control?
he pulls out of his pocket a little spyglass. He says, something I made along the way.
They're behind us.
What?
He says, just stuff I picked up.
So he's talking about the spyglass.
Yeah.
Byron will be like, "Oh, Very good.
But he says, yes, yes. It says, it seems to be
You make me one.
roughly 12 soldiers. He says one on each tower, one on each stretch of the wall between the towers, and then, of course, I see two going off toward the back of the castle. He says, of course, there's no way to know for sure how many are on the back of the castle, but I see
Flag is
two
interested
going off to there.
looking through it if Gold Sneezer will give up temporarily his spyglass.
He says, oh, sure. He says you can keep this one, so you can add a spyglass to your.
Ooh, I got a spyglass.
They're relatively worth a lot of money too, so you can add the spyglass to your slag's sheet there.
Yeah, they're not cheap, man.
He says it'll take me a while to scrape up the materials for another one. He says luckily.
Well, I mean, I'll just hold on to it. I figure that we can share. Whoever knows what they want to look at can borrow it. So okay,
he says luckily pyrite is a renewable resource. And you see the cloud
like,
dust
oh
of
God.
fool's gold spill out again, and then you realize something a little bit that maybe might gross you out a little bit. That he came up with the materials for the spyglass by sneezing out iron pyrite and melting out the pyrite to ore, and like
Yeah, okay, what is news?
getting the iron out of the pyrite.
Hey, no, yeah, it's Mirabar is a mining
Extra
town.
crusty adornments on there.
We're used to getting a lot of stuff out of the leftover rocks, so yeah, it doesn't gross me out.
Yeah, in this case though, it's out of his nose, so you know.
Yeah, I'm putting that part behind me. Willfully ignoring that aspect of it. I was trying to add spyglass to the sheet, and I'm not sure that it did.
It should be in the compendium, I think, but
I did. I saw it in the
Okay.
compendium. I slid it on
and
over.
then it
and looked
didn't. Don't know if it came over or not.
It didn't seem to pop in. I'll put it over, and then I'm sure the way Roll20 works, it'll show up later, and there'll be like 3 of them. Don't worry. We'll remember.
Hover to show token nameplate and borrow it.
If Gold Sneezer noticed any patterns, Slag will be wanting to use the spyglass or have someone use it to determine when would be the best time when they would be least likely that we could go in and go start looking for the entrance and minimize our chance of being seen.
You're saying that to Gold Sneezer?
To everybody.
Oh, okay.
Gold Sneezer as well. Oh, here it is. Yep, it did show up twice. Oh well, that's fine. So, whenever we think it would be, okay, they're going the other way. Let's go.
He said he did mention that there was,
A secondary entrance somewhere.
Right. To the
Not
second.
off to the side or something.
he said there was a dozen on patrol, and he did say that there was 20 guarding the walls. So there might not be a great time. He says. He says he doesn't know. He says maybe if we camped out and observed for a day.
Makes sense, but we kind of know that we're on a little bit of a time schedule. We were told that we arrived earlier than expected from our friend. This is what I got the question.
Okay.
You guys are so brave and strong.
So right now you guys are on essentially like I guess keeping tabs of long rests and all that kind of stuff. You guys are on day 6, so
Just out of
So we
curiosity,
are probably.
go ahead.
Mm, oh, I was gonna say we are probably due for a rest soon. So that's all.
What do you mean? We haven't fought anything.
that's true. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, you did fight Yofflin.
Rest
You did
after
fight
we fought.
Yofflin and this
Yeah.
girl, but I mean, it's
Mm.
you guys have only walked. You guys have only walked like a half a mile from that spot. So you know,
Oh, was
and
it
it
half a
was
mile?
and
Okay.
it's
Oh,
it
never
was
mind then.
it was probably early morning. You know, after
Mm.
you defeated them and was whatever, and then day broke
Okay.
kind of thing, and now to where you guys got it's probably, you know, it's probably like 8, 9, 10 a.m. something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I was under the impression we were a little farther. Never mind. Dan, what were you
I
saying?
mean, you could go to sleep during the day still, but you
I
know.
was gonna see how much catnip Gregor actually found, like how many days worth.
One.
1 day's worth.
Yep, one. So that means after tomorrow not having it, you'll start making that check again. I mean, you've already made it for the day, so you could theoretically stretch it till tomorrow, but I don't think that you would necessarily try that. I think you would probably want to try to
Because I'm already
oot it up, so to speak.
already at disadvantage for my rolls. For
Right, right.
anything.
Right.
Right, and if you take it now, then that gets rid of that disadvantage.
For 24 hours
Yep.
before I make the next roll. I'll ask Gregor how much he would want for that catnip.
He's like, how much?
It's catnip. It's an herb. It's
Don't
you can
understand.
have it.
What did I say?
It's a weed.
I feel like Gregor would smile a little bit of a sardonic smile and say, "But if you have an extra 5 gold."
Okay, Greg.
Hey,
Oh,
hold on to his belt.
Kind of smiling like he doesn't really need 5 gold,
Oh.
but you know, like, but if you're gonna give it up,
Okay.
sure, I'll take it. You know, like, I mean, remember, he is the guy that sets people's houses on fire to see Thyron run out and enjoy. You know, like,
That's true.
Yeah, it was fun.
he's probably a little shady. You know, being the Gloomstalker. It's
A gloomy stalker.
he's a little gloomy. All right, so
I'm willing to pay him 5 gold.
Okay. As we tag team the playing this character.
Gregor's like shrugs and takes the 5 gold, and he's like, it was free, right?
Hey, if you can look out for me for some, keep an eye out as well. I'd greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
The paladin will glare at Thyron.
It keeps the shake the day for. And I'll say that I'll tell Gregor that. And go, it keeps the shakes away.
He's a cat. Of course he likes cat. Yeah. You probably drink holy water. Everybody's got their thing.
Give him his money back. That's uncouth.
I already deducted the 5 gold for my character.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. Boy, that was a funny one. Tell me when
Go
you're
to
gonna
hell.
make jokes like when you make jokes like that. You know, it's dangerous.
Go to hell.
She says,
Someone's gonna keep you.
you hear Saral say, she says, you realize that even though you guys are early, you are still too late, right?
I'll see about that.
We knew you'd say that.
We are.
Oh, I got the Chapel of Flesoro, so I got that.
He looks at her and says, "Do I look concerned?" No,
Am
'cause
I-
I'm not, lady.
Am I bothered? Do I look bothered to
Look
you?
bothered. Oh bother. Oh, I need to say. All right. So Adrik's Folly is built on top of a large flat hillock in the foothills. Um,
Hmm.
so
A foothillock is
it's got like a lot of visibility to the surrounding area. Like it's pretty visible.
It's a defensive position.
Yeah. And there's a lot of thick brush around the castle, as well as several trees have retaken the area around the castle. Um,
Gregor suggests cutting down some camouflage and approaching with the use of some, you know, slowly with behind brush and waiting for it to be less visible.
okay, so
Yue looks at Apollo.
you got the spyglass slag. Were you wanting to
Yep,
look through it? You said.
yep.
Okay,
Trying to get it. Go ahead.
go ahead and make a perception check. But what are you trying to do? Like,
Well, what we've been trying to do all along, determine if there's any pattern, if there's any, changing of the guard, if there's, if there's a time when they have fewer up there, anything that we can see and determine as far as a time that would be better. And we kind of determined, well, they only change every hour or something like that, or every day. So we'd have to obviously
Well,
stay
we've
a
been
little
here
bit.
for 15 minutes.
so you
Every
notice.
15 minutes.
Yeah, so you notice that the shift of the patrol, there's a dozen on patrol at any given time, it seems, and the shift of the patrol is such that as you're watching it, it's about every 15 minutes that they pass in front of the castle. So you realize
Okay.
that there's probably around a 15-minute window where you could go from like a copse of trees to possibly in front of the castle or something like that. But it's very, you could still also get seen by the people on the towers though. So,
Hmm.
So
um,
we do have a potion of invisibility in party treasure.
but what'd you roll for your perception check? 16.
16.
Okay. Um, you find
What did I roll?
while you're looking around and over surveying the thing that you see a small chapel. Uh, not as far away as a quarter mile, like about half the distance to the thing, about eighth of a mile away from you, and an eighth of a mile away from the Hadrix Folly. A small chapel, off into the east, like kind of buried into the foothills a little bit more, and what appears to be a sort of large graveyard.
Right in the heart
Hey.
of the undead.
There you go. Hey, there's a chapel and a graveyard. Look, everybody, look through the spyglass. No, the other way. Look through the little end, and you're and maybe that might be. It's possible that might be the entrance. It's not like a secret entrance, but actually something in a graveyard or a churchyard. We could check that, and that's not. We wouldn't have to get as close. Chance we could get there without being seen. If we time it just right.
Yue does have an invisibility spell, by the way.
Right. That's cool. And
Just saying,
You
because
can-
So one of you get closer.
Vargas was asking about
Oh, okay. Let's say one of you get closer.
A potion too, I thought.
Okay, so the two of you get closer without being seen.
So UA has the spell,
yes.
or UA has the potion.
Yes.
Yue has a spell.
In party treasure, there was
You
a
can actually
potion.
cast it. Yeah, we have a potion and a spell then. I can cast a spell 4 times.
if you can you upcast it to get more than one person?
Let me check. No, if you could do that with a.
I don't remember.
Yep, I can. I can.
That is
At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a slot of third level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot above second. So I can.
So I mean, if we could figure who are the sneakiest, stealthiest among us, and let them just try to be sneaky and stealthy, and then the big clunkers make them invisible.
so. I think that yeah, I don't know who it all's, but that's weird.
Well, we know the cat's pretty stealthy.
Great.
UA
know
is
that-
not.
Yeah, and probably a Palodian is not.
Gregor might be, and
Not
Slag.
sure
I don't
what
know.
you got there.
Slag is pretty stealthy, maybe too. I don't know.
Yeah, Slag's pretty stealthy. I'm trying to see if Gregor might be, because
Byron is.
he a
No.
ranger.
Okay, well you hear Nanu say, "Well, you've gotten me this far. I will take it from here. Thank you." And he starts walking forward.
Is he leaving us?
Oh yeah, he's going to Adrik's Folly. It's right there in sight. Why would he not go right to Adrik's Folly?
He still owes us gold, by the way.
He says, "Oh, yes.
Sorry,
Oh,
UA.
sorry.
Tina's
Sorry.
saying that's not UA. Like,
Oh, okay. Wait, what now? Tini saying that? Okay, so are you gonna stop him then?
Tina is saying this.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he's
Whoa.
not. No, he doesn't care.
No, you
Slag
don't.
is.
No, UA don't
Slag
care
would-
about the
Slag
gold. Okay.
UA doesn't
Slag would
care
more
about
like-
gold. He'll take it, but
Slag would stop him and mention that would be really dangerous. If you haven't even listened at all to the conversation, there's undead and there's dead and there's drow and there's not very happy people to have visitors. I don't think that they would be willing to share and give you the type of information that you want just walking on up there. You do a lot better coming in with us on the down low. I don't want to see you
He
turn
says-
into a pincushion.
He says, but
I like you.
he says, but if I go in with you and we're spotted, won't they immediately assume I'm an enemy?
Yeah, probably so. Do you figure that you're going to be able to convince them that you're just there for academic purposes?
He looks at you over his spectacles and says, then looks at himself, and you see the big bag of scrolls and maps and stuff on his back, and he says, "I don't see what they would think otherwise."
You don't have any weapons on them.
You would think that
UA
He
would
looks
speak up and
he
say,
looks like the nerdiest minotaur you've ever seen, and I know that's not saying much because you probably haven't seen any minotaurs that look nerdy, but in this case, he looks like, even for a minotaur, he looks nerdy compared to most humans. So
what does your knowledge tell you about drow and about looking to and what their tendencies are and taking? And I just rolled a persuasion just in case you wanted to use it. I think that your knowledge and study should tell you that that's not a safe idea. You'd have to run into a bunch of drow scholars, not drow warriors, to convince them they'd let you in and take notes on the place. We're thinking about your safety here, guy.
he says, "Well,
So,
I would be here to study."
persuade.
He says, "Well, I would be here to study the Vicmordir and the Drow themselves, of course, and the architecture and the history." And he says, so he will try to make a contested one, but he's
Okay.
not. He is going to fail. He is going to fail badly. Okay. He says, "But I guess you're right." He says, "I don't need to end up a Drow slave." He says,
What,
but
Dad?
he says, I don't think they would just outright attack a lone traveler, archaeologist."
Maybe
he
we-
says, but
Maybe we can ask our person that's with us here. What do you think the chances are of our friend walking up to the Adrik's Folly and trying to convince him he's just there to take notes and not to do him any harm or take him captive?
She says, I think during the day he'd probably be fine. I forgot to
Really?
put her on the map. She says, yeah, it's the Vic Mordir during the day, of course. And then she has that look again. That look like she said too much.
Does that mean?
And then
does
she
that
kind
mean
of then
that-
she kind of shrugs. Then she kind of shrugs and she's like, "You know, Drow are going to not be out during the day."
They're gonna have their minions out.
Well, that's true, but
She's
we're
like,
not.
as it is, it's basically this gray dusk, and it's already starting to hurt my eyes.
Oh, okay. Because I would say, but we're not during the day. But okay.
Yeah, it is.
We're gray dusky.
Yeah, it's daytime. It's definitely daytime. It's just that
Okay.
the eclipse is lessened quite a bit, and it's like this gray dusk type of thing, you know.
Okay. Readjusting my image. Okay. Well, I mean that. I think it'd still be safer with us, but there's information
Or,
from one of
or
the people.
I
who
guess
lives
gray
here.
dawn would be more accurate. I guess would be not dusk, but you know, this gray dusky sky, but dawn type area because it's like I said,
Right,
9 or 10
right
a.m.
dawn. Yeah, because dusk is conveniently.
Yeah.
You could say twilight. That works in both.
So
So-
he's insisted on leaving. I'm sure he pays before he leaves.
He doesn't. He's convinced to stay because
Okay,
Slag
fair
convinced him to stay. So
I say we should head to the chapel.
he says
Go
you-
into
you
the
you hear
chapel
Nanu
and
say
we're-
you hear Nanu say, "Oh, thank you. At least let me study the chapel."
Absolutely.
Of course, my friend.
And I think in a way you might have just bought yourselves a lot of time because he will probably study the chapel for the next 3 days. if not
Just leave him there
longer.
to study.
If not longer. The you know the whole Drow war with the surface could be over in the amount of time it takes him to finish studying the chapel, you know, like but
What are you doing?
definitely-
Brick by brick, recording every bump.
did you know there are
Definitely
3,100
playing him like an ogier, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Did you know that there are 3,173 dots or divots in this brick? I must
do that
So-
I
again.
must count them all.
Well, I'm going to try to go stealthily up to that chapel without
Right.
using
Right.
a potion.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm on the risk.
Oh, I got too many of these already.
If somebody wants to, I can
Trust me,
bardically
the
inspire.
changing of the guard.
I can bardically inspire some people who
Okay,
are
so
on
you're
the
gonna go-
edge.
Well,
Do
we gotta
what?
get Saral in there too.
Do what?
I say bardically inspire all of us to
I
help
don't-
us on
I don't think you can.
I don't have that many. I don't have that many bardic inspirations. But
Farkas is gonna sneak up to the chapel ahead of us, right?
Yeah, I can try.
Well, remember, Brian said we have about 15 minutes between changing the guards to get up toward the castle.
From wherever you go from. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you don't have to go and try to do a quarter mile in 15 minutes. I mean, you could easily, but
Oh, I was going to do the 8-mile thing to the chapel entrance.
right.
So that's an eighth of a mile, then an eighth of a mile from the chapel to the gate or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, I can.
But I guess something might be being lost in translation here, though. Because
Well, I was going to try to stealthily move to the chapel.
that's fine. I'm just saying that regardless of how you're moving to the chapel, the 15-minute window that I was talking about was if you were moving from somewhere to the castle.
Okay.
It's not hard to move stealthily amongst
Not
amongst
to
a,
the chapel.
it's not hard to move stealthily amongst a bunch of trees, but it will be hard to get from wherever you are at, whatever that place may be, whether it's a quarter mile away, half a mile away, eighth mile away, 10 feet away, to the castle without being seen.
wide open.
Except for in that 15-minute window, you might have a chance.
Yeah, I'll wait till that window appears,
But I don't.
and that's what,
Right. My point is, I don't think you're going to run from a quarter mile away all the way to the castle in 15 minutes and expect not to be seen. So even stealthy.
if you're trying to do it stuff.
So okay. So
So I'm gonna wait till the window comes up, and I want to try to make it to the chapel.
the chapel.
Stealthily.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I'm saying you won't even be seen most likely going to the chapel.
Well, I just wanna
Okay.
make sure.
All right. All right. So you're waiting for 15 minutes and then going.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll roll stealth check. Make sure I don't have it on advantage.
And are you going to slag? Is that what the stealth check is for, or are you just rolling?
Yeah, that's for Slag and for Gregor.
Oh, yeah.
Gregor's the heavily armored, so he rolled at disadvantage. So he got a 15. Slag got a 22.
Okay. You guys are all easily stealthy enough to make it to the chapel.
Mine
Guess
was
it's my turn then.
I don't know why two yet.
Anybody else gonna go too?
I'm gonna try, and I'm probably gonna fail.
Okay.
UA will go, but he's not going to try to be stealthy because he's going to have to drag Saral behind him, so he will quite roughly grab her by the arm and be like, come on.
She's like, don't threaten me with a
How
good
do I do
time.
this roll? It's stealth.
Sorala,
Oh, yeah, this is totally gonna fail.
Sorala is like, don't threaten me with a good time. Anyway, so yeah, so you did fail. You are not stealthy at all.
Face planted.
He's holding that one branch. What do
Yeah.
you mean you see me?
Did that do it? It didn't do it, did it? No, it didn't. Okay, I rolled 1d20, right? So I did x3 instead of times 3, but okay, so we'll just do that again. Roll d20, 1d20, and one more d20. Okay.
You got some good rolls. The last two there.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Whatever that means.
Sorry. I gotta do that. That was supposed to be. Okay, hold on. That was supposed to be 6 actually, but. Okay, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Okay, so 12, 12, 11, and 4. 12, 11, and 4. Okay. All right.
I'd like to ready an action when you get a chance, Brian. If it can be done. Sorry. Didn't
But
mean
what's the action? What's the action? Tina.
anything comes flying at me like an arrow or a magic bolt, I'm gonna pull Saral in front of me and let her take the hit.
Oh, okay.
Can I parry with Saral?
You can try. Yeah.
Shield.
Yeah.
Our humanoid shield.
Grab a Palos branch. Wave it away.
What the snot? What the hell is going on here?
That's what I want to know.
Right?
What the? Oh my gosh, this thing. I don't know why this thing is working the way it's working.
Stream of D&D.
It's like I reduced the size of this map, the pixel size of this map, or not the pixel size, the cell size of this map, like 3 times, and it's not reducing whenever I do it. Hang on, let me go on to the other map and then go back. There we go. Yep, now it's reduced and it just wasn't showing up because I was like, oh my god, stupid roll 20. What the hell are you doing? The heck are you doing, roll 20?
When you're finished fighting with Roll 20, do we have any idea of who this chapel is to? Which of the myriad of gods? Roll a religion check. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Sure, why not? You reroll a religion check? No,
Yeah, yeah.
no. It looks like a temple of a god of a deity of light.
A light deity, huh? That wouldn't be liked by the Drow very much, now would it?
So I can't assume that you guys are all like keeping an eye on the castle or watching the castle or whatever. Um, this is what sometimes why I ask you. You believe it's a temple of Lathander?
God, Lathander. Always a good, reliable god.
Good old Lathander. Um,
UA would be watching for missiles coming at him, so I don't know if that's necessarily the castle. Whatever you think might be appropriate.
do
I
what?
guess I assume kind of all over the place.
Do what?
Well, UA's keeping. He's got that keeping in mind that he's going to pull Terrell in front of him if something flies at him. He's kind of scoping for missiles, like projectiles. But I didn't specifically think he was staring straight at the castle. I kind of imagined he was just kind of sweeping in front of him. So when you said looking at the castle, saying it's kind of up to your discretion whether or not he catches anything while he's sweeping. Make sense? If not, ignore me.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess so. When you see Apollo um, stealthily move off, you
Nailed it.
you see that it looks like there's some erratic movement on the towers,
Alright.
and then you see like
Apollo?
you see like you see like probably two or three more people join the each soldier on the tower on the front, like two or three more what looks appears to be soldiers on each tower, each of the two front towers, anyways. And you see them they're like it's hard to tell what they're doing. They're a quarter mile away, but it looks like they're pointing at you guys or pointing in your direction. Apollo is probably still 30 feet from you, but he's probably moved his almost whole 30, so he's probably exactly 30 feet away from you.
Okay, well, I'm not just standing. I'll take another step forward and I'll relay this to him. I'll be like, Apollo, they saw you.
So we'll do
There's
Farkas.
no
We're gonna be Farkas is there at least, and Callan is there at least, probably right. There at least, right. And then you rolled for Gregor, and Gregor got a 15, so he's probably
Yep.
there-ish, there-ish. And Apollo, you're probably
Yeah.
like here, but no, not dead. I mean, you're like 1,000 feet away from them. They're not shooting at you. They're like it would be kind of.
Pointless.
All right, I got to do it. I got to do it. It would be sheer folly to shoot at you. I can't help myself.
Don't worry,
Adrik.
Apollo. Everyone's
one
watching you
one
are.
one might even say it might be Adrik's folly to shoot at you.
Okay, we had
I got nothing.
invisibility spells, we had invisibility potions, and we all decided just to run for it.
But they did it stealthily.
Uh,
I was leaving the
Fine stuff.
invisibility stuff for the people that weren't.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I thought the game plan was.
that was the
Believe
game
that.
plan.
You asked. And
Apollo's like, I forgot the memo. Thought
I went in there because, well, Apollo did, and he's in plate, so I'll try it too. Nope.
Are we?
Looking for traps.
This Gregor's
Which
like
way?
not
Are
your
we
not
headed
your
north?
stealthiest moment, my friend.
Looking for traps, Gregor. Looking for traps.
Are you headed
Kind of
north?
close the bush there.
You're headed like
Okay.
north and east. Yeah, you're following the way of the trail. The trail kind of goes up and passes the chapel and then goes up toward the gates of the castle, kind of thing. So I think you guys would be going to, if you were going to be stealthy anyways. I would think you guys would be going between the trees, kind of thing. From tree to tree, kind of like between them, so you're not spotted.
Well, they only noticed
Hello.
Apollo, not the rest of the group.
Except for Nanu, who wanders kind of back and forth, a little confused, and he's like, "Well, what am I supposed to be stealthy? I thought we were going to the chapel. I don't know what's going on."
Mood, Nanu. Mood.
So if nothing else, they've spotted for sure. His Apollo's failed attempt at being stealthy, but now that they are pointing, they've noticed this rather confused looking minotaur in the middle of the path.
Um,
Shall we dash?
People that are closest to me,
And you
yeah,
hear
we're gonna probably soon have company.
you hear Nanu say, "Am I supposed to be sneaking?"
so I'll have Silverhorns come over here and say, "Brother, come this way. Hide
Okay.
behind the trees."
Okay, so he will go over
Only
here with
assuming that
you,
Silverhorns would probably be trying to comfort him or say, "Hey, come on,
and he
look
will
behind these trees."
try to make a stealth check, but he's doing better than Apollo did, but it's only because he's not wearing any armor. All right.
We're gonna have company here really soon.
Do we want to? Do we want to go to? Might as well go to the chapel. It's more defensible.
So the chapel is through the trees, right? Or
Actually,
is it straight up the?
our cover is blown.
Yours is. Somebody's is.
Oh,
She says,
the cover is not blown.
"You
I don't think they noticed me, but
you hear Saral like say something like, she says, I can't be stealthy with my hands bound and my legs tied together."
Nope, we're not gonna try. Come on. He just kind of yoinks her forward.
All right.
He's not trying. So he'll kind of go towards the temple.
Yeah.
Along the
knowing
road?
that he can't be stealthy with her.
Along the road?
Well, I can't. Oh, it's right. I can move through my friends, can't I?
You can also move through.
At
Yeah,
least for this 30 feet, and then he'll. For this 30 feet, he will, and then he'll move off into the trees
okay. All right.
once his friends aren't standing there crowded around.
Okay. You
Okay, let me just quickly look at this. And this is probably not going to help because we have so freaking many people. But
All right.
I
So,
think that
oh, go ahead. Long strider.
I think it doesn't. I don't think it.
You touch a creature, the
touch
target's
each
increased.
target. Yeah, only one.
Yep. And then for upcasting, you can do an additional creature for each slot
But,
above first.
but not that many.
So yeah, you can only cast third level spells. So you could do three creatures.
Night. Yeah. It's just I thought I'd just check.
All right.
But
Are you
not
gonna do
gonna
that
be
or no?
going to-
That's Gregor, right?
That's Gregor. Yep.
I think Gregor would do that on Kellen and Farkas and himself.
And Kellen, so we could just
Yeah.
we could
So
get there ahead and secure the place.
well, you guys are the stealthiest and have proven that, and so like you guys would get there stealthily, while everybody else is the distraction is what's going on in Gregor's mind.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
That's a good idea.
While everybody else is the pincushions, we'll get up there and we'll be fine. This is Gregor. Do you see his alignment?
Chaotic
Is he
neutral.
chaotic neutral or something like that? I don't know.
Mine is.
Did you put that in there?
His alignment's in there, yeah. Should be. Let me see.
Background trope. Oh,
Neutral good. Okay, so he's
freaking
neutral good. He's neutral good. Okay, yeah. So yeah, still
So
neutral.
I
Neutral
would
is still self-serving.
yeah.
Oh, I can bring up the definition right now, and it'll tell you that it's neutrality is the more the realm of serving, like, personal interests versus outside interests.
I think.
Chaotic neutral, so I only look out for myself.
All right.
Yeah, that's different.
As opposed to debating how to play a non-player character, that's fine. I took the spell off so that it can be upcast, and he can't. He can only do second levels
Oh yeah,
up at
that's
this point.
he's not as high a level as you guys. That's right.
So
And plus he's a ranger, so it's different. Um,
okay, Farkas and Gregor we can stride longer now. It just increases by 10 feet. It's not. It doesn't turn you into the Flash.
right.
So, but they're gonna take off for the chapel. Off we go.
Mhm.
And Spike, come on, Spike.
All right. All right. Yeah, yeah. I thought I had him as chaotic good or chaotic neutral, but either way.
Yeah, I thought he was chaotic neutral.
You can make him that if you want to, but that's
Yeah. That's how I've been playing him. So All right.
you
So
had, you
Yeah,
had to check the
actually-
sheet.
so wait. You move Silverhorns too. Are you gonna move Silverhorns stealthily, or is
I
he
did
just
that accidentally. I drew a box. I did need to draw a box. My bad.
you drew a box and it moves Silverhorns?
Yeah, I grabbed.
Oh, I
ended
see
up
what you're saying.
grabbing-
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I ended up
Okay, he
grabbing
was- yeah, he
Silverhorns
was
by
down there.
mistake. It was a mistake.
Okay. All right. So you guys can make another stealth check, and for UA, make a perception check.
Okay. I'm going percept now.
Should I be making
I
any
may
sense?
percept something.
Yeah, Apollo, you can make a perception check, and you can make one for Thyron and Gold Sneezer as well. Well, I got Gold Sneezer here.
Come on.
Percepting this.
Wow, everything wants me to fail today.
There.
Dang.
You and Thyron is right there with you, bud. He is stealthy like you. He is perceptible like you.
Oh, what about UA? UA got the 18. Okay. So UA, you notice that the soldiers, like the extra ones on the tower, have kind of disappeared, and the ones that are on the tower, they seem to be focused in your direction, but they don't seem to notice anything. Slag, you can make that stealth check at advantage. And
Good.
and also Callan, or not Callan, but Gregor and Farkas, you can make your next stealth check at advantage. Advantage, yeah. There's enough trees that they have a really hard time seeing you, and if you can't be seen, you can do it at advantage, basically. So. Okay, you get what I'm saying, Tina, though? They're zeroed in on you, but they're not really doing anything. They don't really seem to be doing much.
Like 6.
Okay, so they're watching me, but they don't seem to really be reacting.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Whoever's within 30 feet, I'll relay it to.
Okay.
Because you never know, the trees have ears.
Trees have eels. So Silverhorns, Apollo, Sorrel, Gold Sneezer, and Thyroid are all within 30 feet. And Nanu.
Mm-hmm. So he'll ask Sorrel, he'll say, um, actually, I'm going to ask Brian because you mentioned it. What are the name of the guys that are there first? That started with an M? The Muffin Men?
The Muffin Men, yes. The Muffin Men that live on Drury Lane. They're,
I
do, you,
knew it.
do you know the Muffin Men?
I do know the
The
Muffin
Muffin
Man.
Man?
The Muffin Man!
Muffin Man.
The Puffin
Yeah,
Man,
he said,
he's watching.
yeah. He said that there were some people that were there during the day that were just with an M, I thought.
Uh,
Didn't get a chance to write it down.
the Vic Mordeer. Vic
Oh, I thought it was
Mordeer.
Mordeer.
Yeah, so it's probably from the M part of the Mordeer, but yeah. The Vic Mordeer, essentially, um, they, um, basically overran, Adrik's Folly and, took over the, castle.
But then they
Okay,
doubled back and found it.
So Nanu is within 30 feet. I'm going to ask him then who are the Vic Mortier? What can you tell me about the Vic Mortier? Like, are they a threat to us?
She says,
That's getting a long-winded reply.
you're asking Sorrel that, you said?
He's going to ask Nanu first,
Oh, Nanu. He says,
and then Sorrel if he doesn't get the answer he wants. Yeah.
you're going to ask him if they're dangerous, or what are you asking him?
Yeah, like who are they? Like, what?
Don't ask him that broad a
Yeah.
question.
Oh God, I don't want to say it.
He says, mercenaries, mostly.
Basically, the information. Okay, mercenaries mostly. Okay. All right. Like, are they human? Are they all races?
He
Is Vic
says,
Mortier like the name of a group?
well, they are mostly human, yes. But I imagine whatever races the mercenaries pick up would be fine. They don't really care. Possibly insurgents from the old guard, so to speak. The previous inhabitants of Adrik's Folly.
So they basically are just kind of set up camp here. This is their base.
Well, once they conquered the castle, they didn't claim the castle for themselves, obviously, because the original soldiers wouldn't be happy with that. So they abandoned the fortress to the dead.
So is it possible the Vic Mortier had taken over the castle for the Drow, or the Drow just came in afterwards?
He says, essentially that seems to be what has happened. The Drow have since taken over the castle, but he says it looks like they employ or enslave the Vic Mortier.
Okay, that's what he's getting at. Who are they working for, themselves or the Drow, or what sort of agreement do they have?
Sorala looks at you, almost hurt, and she says, of course they're working for the Drow.
No, don't worry, baby.
She says, that disorganized bunch of heathens couldn't tie their boots on if they were asked to.
Are they really that pathetic?
She says, I mean, they're good fighters, but only good.
Sometimes good is good enough.
He says,
you need a distraction, right?
she says it was much better, or she says it was a much better situation once they learned how to control the dead, or put them to use as laborers. She says, the morons probably think that you're my prisoner.
They seem rather unconcerned, don't they?
She kind of shrugs and she says when we get closer and they realize the truth, I imagine you or both of us will be pincushions.
Just you, my dear. I have a feeling that you're willing to take an arrow for me.
She says, willing.
I'm,
She says she says
I'm sure she gets that.
she says I have a choice, huh?
No.
So are we moving on toward the
Yeah, you guys.
chapel?
So it depends on how slow you guys are moving for Thyron and Gold Sneezer and that. Like, and I don't know what you guys think they should do. And Apollo, are you going to try to remain stealthy and try to keep going through the woods?
No, I think at this point I should just give up.
Go back out and onto the road and go with like Thyron and where Thyron and Gold Sneezer kind of follow behind these two, kind of.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
like a plan.
I think Thyron is not. He's going to. He's not going to try to necessarily be hiding. He's going to try to move quieter. Like, okay, I'm not stealthy. I'm wearing full plate, but maybe I can at least try not to clunk around.
Right. I think he would also be
Whether
like.
or not he actually succeeds.
I think he would still stay like a few paces behind you guys. Kind of bring up the rear, so to speak. All right, so let me put you guys over on this map. It is 6:30. You guys reach the chapel. Well, okay. I take it back. You guys don't reach the chapel. Callan, Farkas, and Gregor reach the chapel. Ahead of everybody else by, like a minute or two at least. And unless you're like moving like at top speed, with UA and the Drow and that, then like probably several minutes ahead even. So let me put let's see, Callan, Slag, and Farkas, right?
Nope.
Oh, you know what? I got to do something first because no, I don't have dynamic lighting up anyways. I mean, I don't have, what I'm saying. I don't have this dynamically lit yet, is what I'm saying. So,
Boy, it's dark in here.
yeah.
I
somebody should have a light
see
spell.
nothing.
So here we go. We're gonna put you down there. Put Spike there. We'll put Farkas there, and we'll put who was it? Gregor, right? Gregor. Where you at, Gregor? There you are.
Yep.
And we'll put Gregor there, and okay, and then so you can see on the map you can see the castle, but I actually have to adjust the map and such, but So you reach the castle, or not the castle, the chapel. I mean, small chapel devoted to the light of life. It watches over a large graveyard that holds tombstones, several tombstones for each and every one of the fallen soldiers from the castle. But you also see several like what appear to be mass graves. Yeah. You don't see anything looking like a fresh grave. The building itself consists of a main hall, and then like like a little like an upper area. Yeah. So that's it for now, and we're gonna wrap it up because it is 6:40, and we will return. When we return, you guys will check out the chapel and all that good stuff. Sound good?
See when services are,
Yeah.
when hymns are going to be sung, all those sort of things.
Should learn how to become parishioners. Yeah.
Exactly. Ooh. I want to collect the offering.
Collect the offering.
Lines.
Collect. What's in the offering plate? All right. Oh, you know what? I don't think I did the intro, but I'll do the outro. Hold on. Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Yes, I will. So, anyways, sorry no intro, but thanks for joining us here on Action Surge, where imagination collides with the roll of the dice. We've battled fearsome foes and forged unforgettable memories together. As this session draws to a close, remember the journey never truly ends. Keep rolling those dice, weaving the tales, and farewell, adventurers. Don't forget to check us out Action Surge 5e on all our platforms, including Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Give us a like and subscribe. And until next time, may all your actions
Action
surge.
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 And we're out of here.